Part 11. Planting trees for all, 3 consecutive SSS-level talents at the beginning. Author, Immortal. Chapter 101. Open the panel. Lu Shu took a deep breath. Good guy. All these attributes are amazing. With the blessing of the guardian angel, why not knock this boss to the ground and hammer him? At this moment, the attribute panels of Pikachu, Little White Fox, and UMI are shining brightly taking up the entire screen. How comfortable it looks. Received the blessing effect of 100 times the angel's blessing halo, the attributes of all members exploded. This moment, the Lord of the Netherworld suddenly felt a severe crisis, and his expression changed. UMI, possess Pikachu. Pikachu, copy the power of UMI's sparkling fruit. Little White Fox, use the power of the dark fruit to seal the location of the Lord of the Netherworld. Use all your attacks to kill it. Lu Shu gave the order, and the pet army immediately took action. UMI's shining fruit, combined with the holy light halo of the guardian angel, received a very high holy light attack bonus. Therefore, Lu Shu chose to let Pikachu copy shining. The superpower of the fruit is also based on this point. Sizzle. Sizzle. Chidori's electric sound is extremely crisp. The next second, Pikachu's body was as fast as lightning, and he rushed towards the Lord of the Netherworld. You humble insect, die. The Lord of the Netherworld's eyes turned cold, and he summoned a dark realm of the Netherworld with his backhand, preparing to swallow Pikachu completely. However, the thunder and lightning swayed casually in front of the Lord of the Netherworld, and then disappeared. This thunder and lightning was just an attack. Under the guise, 100 Pikachu formed a formation and surrounded the Lord of the Netherworld. The holy light was like daylight, like a small sun falling to the ground, turning into a dawn blade, piercing the darkness. Ah! The Lord of the Netherworld was hurt by the powerful holy light system, and he suddenly cried out in pain. The damage of your holy light attack overflows, causing a critical hit and breaking through the abyss. When Lu Shu saw the prompt in front of him, his eyes suddenly lit up. It is worthy of the blessing of 100 angels' halos of blessing. The attributes are overflowing, and even the Lord of the Netherworld's abyss amplification can't cause much resistance to an attack of this level. What's more, with the addition of the holy light attribute bonus of the guardian angel, the attacks of Pikachu and other pets essentially have a restraining effect on the Netherlord's nether body. Raise the guardian scepter. 100 Lu Shu, jointly released the holy light judgment towards the Lord of the Netherworld. The endless holy light immediately cleansed the world. The entire sunless abyss suddenly turned into daylight. The Lord of the Netherworld was critically hit by the holy light, and the abyss amplification state was reduced by 20%. Boom! There was a loud sound of holy light explosion again. The Lord of the Netherworld stepped back dozens of steps, his face became much weaker, and he kept coughing. Lu Shu continuously inflicted holy light critical strikes on it, and the effect of abyss amplification was weakened, so the overall resistance would also decrease. To put it simply, the Lord of the Netherworld has been breached. Stupid human being, you will pay for your actions, the Lord of the Netherworld let out an angry roar. The next second, its momentum suddenly increased several times. The darkness of the abyss was once again shrouded. The Lord of the Netherworld used rage, gaining 200% abyss amplification effect, attributes add 200%, and holy light resistance add 100%. The next second, a burst of black air flowed from the Lord of the Netherworld. When the attacks of Pikachu, Little White Fox and UMI fell on the Lord of the Netherworld, they were blocked by the black airflow. It can't be hurt at all. Entering the violent mode. Not only will the attributes be improved by explosions, abyss amplification and other effects, but the Lord of the Netherworld and even all the attacks of Lu Shu's army will be completely immune. Pikachu, Little White Fox, and UMI, retreat temporarily. Don't confront it head on yet. The formation spreads out and pulls. Lu Shu gave the order to let the pets disperse for the time being. Then, he released the advanced curse towards the Lord of the Netherworld. 100 Lu Shus released debilitating skills at the same time. Even the resistance of the Lord of the Netherworld is very high, but at this moment, the momentum has been weakened a bit. It's not just that. Turn on the power of the purple chi pupil. Use illusion. Guangan Qin appeared in your hand. Lu Shu played the wonderful piano sound. The sound of the strings immediately made the movement of the Lord of the Netherworld slow down. The increased resistance of the abyss did not increase the resistance along with the illusion. But as a boss, it is difficult for the Lord of the Netherworld to be completely controlled by Lu Shu. Of course. Suffering from such a powerful force with the illusion attack, the Lord of the Netherworld's movement slowed down, and sometimes he entered a confused state, unable to see where the enemy in front of him was. Lu Shu's Guangan Qin has a strong piercing effect. Even if the Lord of the Netherworld is against illusion, resistance is very high and will not be controlled, but it will still be seriously affected. I saw the Lord of the Netherworld in front of me. When he launched an attack, everything was blown into the air. During this period, Lu Shu did not let the pets do anything. Attack. Once damage is caused to the Lord of the Netherworld, the sense of resistance will be triggered, thereby reducing the effect of the illusion. Taking advantage of this period, Lu Shu continued to release the advanced curse to weaken the momentum of the Lord of the Netherworld. The Lord of the Netherworld has suffered a debilitating effect, and the duration of his rage has been reduced. The Lord of the Netherworld's violent time has ended and he has entered a weak state. As the violent aura weakens, the Lord of the Netherworld's offensive is also declining. At this time, Little White Fox, you am I, Pikachu, come on. Use your strongest attack with all your strength. Try to keep the Lord of the Netherworld's life as low as possible. Lu Shu asked all the pets to unleash all their skills on the Lord of the Netherworld. In his weak state, the Lord of the Netherworld was completely controlled by Lu Shu and could not move even a little bit. Then, bursts of dazzling light completely overwhelmed the Netherworld. Devoured by the Lord. In addition to the attack of the pet army, 100 split Lu Shu also raised the Guardian Scepter and used the Holy Light Judgment together. Boom! The endless holy light, once again swallowed the Lord of the Netherworld. A wail of incomparable pain came from the mouth of the Lord of the Netherworld, as miserable as a ghost in the abyss. The entire face of the Lord of the Netherworld was completely distorted, with hatred in his eyes. From the beginning, it never thought that these despicable humans could cause such great harm to itself. The pain and humiliation made the Lord of the Netherworld's murderous intention towards Lu Shu reach the most extreme state. I will plunge you into the cold abyss of despair, and you will never be reincarnated. A dagger made of black iron chains suddenly appeared in the hands of the Lord of the Netherworld. The next second, it stabbed the dagger fiercely into his heart. The ink-colored blood covering the world suddenly enveloped the world. The entire abyss. Endless murderous intent is distributed in every corner of the nether realm, seeming to completely crush everything here. This is the death realm released by the Lord of the Netherworld at the cost of half his life. I want to turn half of myself into the underworld and die together with the enemy. The Lord of the Netherworld is launching the death realm. Please leave this area before the decisive battle is launched. Otherwise you will die instantly. You am I, possessing the little white fox. Little white fox, enter the void crack. Pikachu, copy the void rift of the little white fox. Lu Shu immediately ordered. Pikachu's attributes have been greatly increased. It only needs to consume mental power to quickly switch to other skills and copy them. The speed of light copied the void cracks of the little white fox. All pets, they all hid in the space of another dimension. At this time, the great formation of the ultimate killing field was launched. However, Lu Shu's figure suddenly turned into the form of the netherworld. If we say, the Great Killing Formation, it was originally swallowed by the Netherworld. All things. Then Lu Shu himself is the Netherworld, how could he be swallowed by the Netherworld? What's more, he is also protected by the Guardian Angel, and he is very resistant to this kind of attack. Boom. Boom. Long. The endless killing array made the surrounding void tremble. However, Lu Shu's figure was as tough as a rock and was not moved at all. I don't know how long it took. Finally, the killing array ended. The figure of the Lord of the Netherworld reappeared in front of Lu Shu. But by this time, the aura on its body had become extremely weak. The Lord of the Netherworld activates the killing domain, consuming half of the life attributes. The gift of the abyss is invalid. All attributes reduced by 50%. Holy light resistance reduced by 100%. Although by this time, Lu Shu's splitting effect had disappeared. 100 Lu trees merged into one Lu tree. As for the 100 times angels blessing on the pets, time has almost passed. But the current attributes of the Lord of the Netherworld have been reduced by not much. Even without the bonus of these attributes, just relying on Lu Shu's current holy light attack, it would be difficult for the Lord of the Netherworld to resist it. Accept the judgment of the holy light. A sword of holy light suddenly appeared in the hands of the guardian angel. With a light curtain of judgment, his figure rushed towards the Lord of the Netherworld. A ray of holy light followed the tip of the sword and cut through the Netherworld. The body of the Lord. The dark aura on the Lord of the Netherworld completely collapsed and he was hit hard again. It's now. Kill it. Lu Shu instantly raised the guardian scepter. Holy light judgment. When the last holy light landed on the Lord of the Netherworld, it was accompanied by a scalp-numbing wailing sound. The Lord of the Netherworld's the figure gradually disappeared into the endless holy light. It's over. Lu Shu took a long breath. After many days of preparation and an arduous battle, the Lord of the Netherworld was finally killed by himself. The little white fox and Pikachu also withdrew from the void crack one after another. Returned to Lu Shu. Those small eyes watched the figure of the Lord of the Netherworld disappearing, with a bit of surprise. The final attack of the Lord of the Netherworld was extremely destructive. Any divine tree master, if he were to resist an attack of this level head-on, he would be considered dead within less than a second. If Lu Shu had not had the body of the Netherworld and the blessing of the guardian angel, he would not have been able to resist the utter death of the Lord of the Netherworld so easily. Domain. In any case, this fierce battle finally ended, and Lu Shu also successfully got the first kill of the nightmare level boss. Boom. There was a violent vibration in the abyss. After the death of the Lord of the Netherworld, the abyss completely collapsed. Lu Shu's eyes moved slightly. He noticed that the aura of the abyss nearby was gradually dissipating. According to the introduction of the Lord of the Netherworld, this monster was only responsible for spreading the power of the abyss to the mainland. Every corner, but it is not the real abyss itself. As a diffuser of the power of the abyss. When the Lord of the Netherworld dies completely, this abyss will naturally cease to exist. After a while, Lu Shu popped up in front of him. Several tips. You pass the boss of the Wailing Abyss, the Lord of the Netherworld. Obtain the robe of the Lord of the Netherworld, legendary level, X1. Obtain X1 heart of the Netherlord, X1 soul of the Netherlord, X10 fragments of the Netherlord, and unlock the Netherlord synthesis root. Obtain Searchlight Flame X1. Get the Abyss Key X1. Get the Intermediate Abyss Skills Illustrated Book, Abyss Amplification. Obtain the Intermediate Abyss Skill Illustrated Book, Abyss Decay. Congratulations on getting the first kill reward of the Nightmare level dungeon and getting a special prop, the Abyss Illustrated Book. The moment Lu Shu got the first kill of the Nightmare level dungeon. This prompt also echoed in the ears of every Sacred Tree Master in the entire Sacred Tree game. Congratulations to the Sacred Tree Master Lulu Ren for obtaining the first kill achievement reward of the Nightmare level dungeon. Originally, everyone in the chat box was eagerly discussing the recent changes in the Grey world. Everyone is happily chatting here. The result. When this prompt sounded, the chat box seemed to be stuck on the network, and no messages could be loaded. This moment, God Tree Game seems quite quiet. It was as if billions of Divine Tree Masters had evaporated and disappeared. There was a brief silence for a minute, and then, a torrent of information burst out like a tsunami. The entire world public screen was flooded with tens of thousands of messages. All the Sacred Tree Masters were like ants exploding on a hot pot, collectively boiling. Planting trees for all, 3 consecutive SSS-level talents at the beginning. Author, Immortal. Chapter 102. World public screen. The boss of Lusha got the nightmare first kill again? Didn't I hallucinate? So fast. Otherwise, everyone was silent just now. Maybe they all thought they were in a hallucination state. I won't say any more. I just slapped myself, and my face is still hurting now. The true god of the God Tree game has appeared, and I have reached the nightmare level dungeon so quickly. I am still playing the difficult level dungeon. The gap between people is too big, right? Who said last time that it was impossible for Mr. Lusha to pass through the nightmare level dungeon so quickly? Come out and say something. Ha ha ha, great prophet, reverse prophecy. The boss of Lusha was so unbelievable. He got the first place on the list, and then got the first kill. He could only be described as invincible. When the market opens next time, follow the footsteps of the tree plumping boss. I will definitely invest 10,000 bags of fertilizer this time and make a lot of money. Follow the tree playing boss and make a fortune. Just when everyone was discussing it, suddenly, a reminder popped up in front of everyone. There are still 20 days until the next Grey Realm attack. Linyuan mission has started. Block the soon-to-be abyss to gain access to new island ranges, as well as specific mission rewards. Attention all Sacred Tree Masters. When this system prompt appeared, all the Sacred Tree Masters were stunned. Linyuan mission? What the hell is this? Why did this thing suddenly appear? Does anyone know what the Linyuan mission is? I don't know. I also saw this prompt, but I don't have any clue. It seems that he got this thing because Mr. Lusha killed the nightmare level copy. Real or fake? Is it the tree lugging boss who speeds up the progress of the entire Sacred Tree game again? If not, I just got the first kill of the dungeon. Why did the remaining time of the Grey World battle come out? Moreover, the Linyuan mission just happened to pop up. It is clear that this mission was started because the progress of Lusha boss reached one of the conditions of the Divine Tree game. But I don't know what the Linyuan mission is, and the system doesn't say anything about it. It sounds like you can also get new islands, which seems very powerful. Yes, can the Divine Tree game get new islands? It seems that there is no other way except killing other Sacred Tree Masters. You can also get new islands in the Linyuan mission. It seems to be no ordinary mission. I don't know how to execute this mission. If you look at the description of the mission, it talks about preventing areas that are about to become an abyss. It should be related to exploration, but we don't know where these areas are. What does abyss mean? Abyss level copy. I don't know, but it sounds like it's a dungeon. It's probably an abyss level dungeon. Now I can just enter the abyss level dungeon and give it a try. Maybe I can complete a task of this level. The new Linyuan mission has aroused heated discussion among everyone. The only thing everyone knows is that the emergence of this mission is related to Lushu's first kill of the nightmare level dungeon, which accelerated the progress of the dungeon. But most of the Sacred Tree Masters knew nothing about this task. Everyone is frantically looking for information about Linyuan mission, even Some highly talented Divine Tree Masters even took the initiative to exchange their talent fruits with Lu Shu in exchange for this precious information. It's a pity, all this didn't get any reply. Dark Night Sacred Tree Island. When he heard this reminder, Agnes' eyes instantly became cold. After learning that the treeman had cleared the nightmare level copy, and then thinking about Nether's death, this moment. No matter how dull Agnes was, he still realized that it was Lu Shu who killed Yu Ming. Taking a deep breath, Agnes had to restrain his anger. He is definitely not Lu Shu's opponent now. The progress between the two is very different. Even if he sends more subordinates, or even takes action with the entire Dark Knight Alliance, he may not be able to kill the Shuren, but may be killed by the other party. Linyuan Mission. A brilliant light burst out from Agnes' eyes. This time, a new phased mission appears in the Divine Tree game, which may be my chance to make a comeback. If I can get the Tree Man first and complete more Linyuan tasks, maybe my strength will give me the possibility to catch up. Humph, when my strength catches up, I will definitely make you pay the price. Then, Dark Knight cancelled the Dark Knight Alliance members' mission to hunt down other Divine Tree Masters. Instead, he went to investigate the Linyuan mission. Besides Lu Shu, the Dark Knight Alliance's main enemy is Mu Pavilion. After hearing the news, Mu Pavilion will definitely start to pay attention to the Linyuan mission, and there may be the possibility of sparks between the two parties. Therefore, Agnes chose to focus all his efforts on finding the Linyuan mission and speed up the growth of the organization's strength. In this way, can steady suppression of Mu Pavilion. After the news was conveyed, the Divine Tree Masters of the Dark Knight Alliance quickly began to take action. They blended into the night and began to explore the traces of the Linyuan mission in the Grey World. Mu Pavilion. There was also a trace of surprise in Mu Tingfeng's eyes. This guy actually got the first kill in the dungeon again. Mu Tingfeng, who has the power of Monster Prophet, certainly knows that nightmare-level dungeons are much better than ordinary abyss-level dungeons. The copy is so scary. Even if the entire Mu Pavilion is deployed now, it may not be possible to attack the nightmare-level copy. However, Lu Shuren has already obtained the first kill achievement even for a copy of this level. Mu Tingfeng could only smile bitterly. The strength of Mu Pavilion as a whole should be considered one of the best in the Divine Tree game, but in front of the Tree Raider alone, it seems a bit inadequate. Try to see if you can find any news about the Linyuan mission. Take a deep breath. Mu Tingfeng tried to activate the power of the prediction system. Explore the information about Linyuan's mission. However, the next second, she suddenly felt a strong backlash, impacting her mental strength. My chest felt suddenly tight. A mouthful of bright red blood spat out from Mu Tingfeng's red lips. It actually involves the highest secret. A trace of horror flashed across Mu Tingfeng's eyes. She could not imagine what kind of thing could involve the highest secret. And this matter could only be solved by the Shuren who had obtained the first kill. I know the information about Linyuan mission. Grey World. Lu Shu's eyes first focused on the Lord of the Netherworld's robes. Robe of the Lord of the Netherworld. Category, Defensive Jacket. Grade, Legend Attributes. Netherworld Resistance add 500, Abyss Resistance add 100, Defense add 1000, Negative Effect Resistance add 20%, Durability 3000. Skill, Incarnation of the Netherworld. Set Effect. Nether 8-piece set, 7/8. Set Effect, Nether Resistance add 450, Nether Restraint add 300, Nether Perception add 200, Nether Gain add 200, Nether Critical Hit Rate add 50%, Blessing add 200, Divine Power add 100. Now, the Nether set has been assembled to a 7-piece set. Only the last suit is left to complete the 8-piece set of Netherworld. The effect of the suit becomes extremely explosive with the addition of this legendary piece of equipment. And The robe of the Lord of the Netherworld also has an active skill, transform into the Netherworld. Incarnate into the Netherworld, summon a Netherworld realm, be able to sneak into the Netherworld state, be immune to damage, and cause Netherworld effects to enemies. Lushu's eyes flashed with a hint of satisfaction. Whether its attributes or active skill effects, this legendary piece of equipment is impeccable. Incarnate into the Netherworld, and even be able to summon a Netherworld realm. Combined with your own Nether body, you can have a stronger effect on the enemy. Especially when fighting against the Divine Tree Master, this kind of extremely resistant attack can often make the enemy helpless. Lord of the Netherworld Synthesis Root. Lushu felt a little surprised. Even the dungeon boss can be synthesized. The fruit of Wanjun's sacred tree is actually more interesting than I thought. Lord of the Underworld. Level, SS. Synthesis conditions, Heart of the Lord of the Netherworld X1, Soul of the Lord of the Netherworld X1, Fragments of the Lord of the Netherworld X10, Advanced Abyss Soul X100, Curse Breath X1, Heart of the Abyss X1. In addition to the materials dropped by the Lord of the Netherworld, Lushu discovered that if you want to synthesize the Lord of the Netherworld, you also need materials such as Advanced Abyss Soul, Cursed Breath, and Heart of the Abyss. These items can still be found in the current copy for the time being. Less than. I can only let it go temporarily. Do you want to use Searchlight Flame X1? Yes. Vision add 100, Fire Source Divinity add 2, Fire Source Holy Light add 1. Suddenly, the searchlight source in Lushu's hand became brighter than before. In the firelight, there was a faint sacred aura. If you use the fireball technique and control the fire source, the attached fire attribute attack has both divine and holy light attribute damage. It also has a strong restraint effect against monsters such as the Nether system. Even if you enter the Netherworld, these fire sources can continue to provide vision and will not be affected by the domain. Set your sights on the key to the abyss. Get a tip. This is a key to the abyss, please keep it safe. Lushu showed a thoughtful look. Maybe it's similar to the key to the Lost Holy Land, used to open a specific area. He shook his head. I don't know what this key is used to open at the moment, but since it fell from the Lord of the Netherworld, it will definitely be useful for future explorations in the Grey World. Do you want to unlock the intermediate skill illustrated book, Abyss Amplification? Do you want to unlock the intermediate skill guide, Abyss Decay? Yes. Continuous selection to unlock. 2 skill panels popped up in front of Lushu. Abyss Amplification. Level, Intermediate, Abyss. Function, use the power of the Abyss to increase your own attributes by 20%, and have effects such as Abyss Resistance, Physical Resistance, Magic Resistance, and Holy Light Resistance. Abyss Decay. Level, Intermediate, Abyss. Function, use the power of the Abyss to weaken the opponent's attributes by 20%, and reduce the opponent's resistance to all attribute attacks. These 2 skills are quite useful. Lushu's eyes lit up. Needless to say, the Abyss increases his attributes. Various resistances allow Lushu to ignore the supernatural attacks of many Divine Tree Masters. In the battle for the island, this skill is added. Even if you encounter a city defense island with strong firepower, various attacks will not have much impact on Lushu. Abyss Decay, weakening the opponent's resistance to all attributes, is also a very useful skill. Especially used to deal with the Abyss demonic fish. The fish in the deep sea have very low resistance to skills such as curses and decay. If Lushu obtains this skill, it will be easier to kill the Abyss demonic fish when Lushu encounters it. Last item. Abyss Illustrated Book. Type, Special, Unique. Function, when an Abyss mission appears near you, you can mark the location of the Abyss. Linyuan Mission. Lushu opened the world public screen and saw the system prompts and everyone's discussions. If I have the Abyss picture book, can't I directly find the location of the Linyuan mission? Moreover, This special prop is the only one, which means that only I who have obtained the Nightmare level first kill reward can have the Abyss illustrated book. While other Sacred Tree Masters are still looking for what the Linyuan mission is, I can already directly know the location of the mission. Lu Shu's eyes suddenly lit up. In this Sacred Tree game, one step is faster, every step is faster. It will be of great significance to be able to discover the location of Linyuan's mission first than other Sacred Tree Masters. In this case, he can get the latest information. In front of him, a lot of invitation windows for Divine Tree Masters appeared in front of Lu Shu. Most of them used superpower fruits in exchange for information. Lu Shu chose to reject them all. Although the talents of some fruits do seem a bit exciting. But for Lu Shu now, the value of the Grey World's intelligence is even more valuable. If he leaks the information, the Divine Tree Master who will be the first to know his information you can resell the information and the profit may be someone else. Therefore, Lu Shu will not choose such a stupid transaction method. Open the Abyss illustrated book. On this black parchment, a line of bloody text suddenly appeared. Primary Abyss. Coordinates, 64, 66. Risk factor, A. Abyss progress, 20%. Mission, kill the Abyss monster on the island. Reward, grade A Abyss treasure chest. Very close to my location. Lu Shu's eyes moved slightly. The coordinates of Howling Abyss are 67, 58. The coordinates of the abyss that appear in the illustrated book are 64, 66. At Lu Shu's current speed, it wouldn't take long to get to these coordinates. After killing the Lord of the Netherworld, Lu Shu immediately led his large army and rushed towards the coordinates of the Linyuan mission. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Planting trees for all, 3 consecutive SSS level talents at the beginning. Author, Immortal. Chapter 103. Lu Shu summoned an army of undead. The next second, the vast number of undead continued to clean up the area. Every time he rushes through the dungeon, Lu Shu will summon an army of undead to plunder everything nearby. Although there are only a few difficult level dungeons on the road, but those that should be cleared should also be cleared. Maybe we can get a treasure map. Ding. You triggered a luck critical strike. Get the treasure map. Lu Shu was stunned when he saw the prompt in front of him. Do you really trigger a luck critical strike for yourself? Did you find the treasure map? It is indeed a lucky strike, YYDS. If you say you find it, you will find it? It's too strong. Lu Shu immediately rushed to the location mentioned in the prompt. I saw it in an abandoned town. There was a dry sewer filled with a thick layer of soil. Just dig out the soil and you will see a moldy little wooden box. The moment Lu Shu opened the wooden box, a yellowed and worn-out parchment scroll came into view. At the same time, treasure map information appears in front of you. Treasure map. Location, Fairy Dome Holy Land. Coordinates, 101, 122. Description, a world hidden in the grey mist boundary. If you can find these locations, congratulations, you will open the door to a new world. This is a bit far apart. Lu Shu showed a thoughtful expression. It would take at least half a month to get to the location of the treasure map from here, even if he went at full speed. Let's go to the location of Linyuan's mission first. After some thought, Lu Shu quickly made a decision. After getting the location of the treasure map, he continued to lead the mighty army towards the 64, 66 coordinates of the Linyuan mission. Sacred Tree Island. Lu Shu activated his resonance, descended on the Squirtle, and once again led the deep sea combat team members to dive into the deep sea. This time, Lu Shu did not choose to go directly to the sea area below 3,000 meters, but first swept all the treasure chests above 3,000 meters. With the power of Dingazhu, none of the deep-sea demon fish nearby are any match for Lu Shu. After cleaning up, Lu Shu obtained quite a lot of rare fish meat. It's a pity that the deep-sea devilfish does not seem to be included in the list of monster synthesis, so it will not drop synthesis materials. Only monsters from the gray world can be synthesized. After sweeping the sea area of more than 3,000 meters, Lu Shu obtained many gold and platinum treasure chests one after another. The ones that are opened are basically water runes. After the sweep, all Squirtles are now equipped with intermediate water runes. There are still a few who are lucky enough to find high-level water runes. Thus, the overall strength of Lu Shu's Squirtle army has increased by between 20 and 25% compared to before. In this sea area above 3,000 meters, it is already an invincible overlord force. After the sweep was completed, Lu Shu took the Squirtles and continued to dive to the sea below 3,000 meters. With the sacrifice of Ding Haizu, this abyssal vortex that could crush everything immediately came to a standstill. Take Squirtle and quickly cross the water. After continuously diving, the vision gradually darkened. Lu Shu's body once again bloomed with a bright light. The light of the ghost lanternfish allowed Lu Shu to sense the abyss devilfish within a radius of 1,500 meters. After a period of exploration, several ghost lanternfish were killed by Lu Shu again. When the field of vision expanded to 2,000 meters, there were fewer and fewer ghost lanternfish around. Honestly, exploring in the deep sea is much more troublesome than in the gray world. At least the gray world has corresponding buildings. There are references. And if you match the location of the map and coordinates, at least you won't get lost. But the deep sea is like an endless dark space that can only be explored blindly, including the nearby fish schools. What you can find depends entirely on luck. At this moment, Lu Shu sensed that there was a demon swallowing whale nearby and appeared here. This guy arrived just in time. Kill the magic swallowing whale to get the heart of the deep sea. This consumable allows Lu Shu to hear the heartbeats of other abyssal devilfishes, thereby determining the surrounding situation and the location of the devilfish. Immediately move towards the magic swallowing whale. The whale rushes. Now, Lu Shu can release his skills before the demon swallowing whale senses him. Try the effect of the abyss skills. Abyss amplification and abyss decay are also skills that can be directly performed using mental power. As long as Lu Shu's mental power resonates with Squirtle, these two skills can be released. Abyss amplification. Abyss decline. An aura of the abyss suddenly appeared on Lu Shu's body. The next second, his attributes have been greatly improved. After receiving the gift of power from the abyss, when Lu Shu released Abyss Decay again, its power was several levels higher than the advanced curse. The demonic whale was weakened by the skill of Abyss Decay, and its movement speed suddenly became extremely slow. Like a dying fish, it has reached the last moment of its twilight years. The demon swallowing whale suddenly felt deeply frightened, realizing that something was wrong. It hurriedly turned around and ran away. Unleash the advanced curse. Activate the purple pupil power. Release the illusion. The following skills followed one after another. The demon swallowing whale, which had been weakened by abyss decay to the point of being unable to move, was once again eroded by the advanced curse, and even the flesh and blood on the surface was rapidly shrinking and rotting. This scene made Lu Shu secretly shocked. It shows that abyss decay has caused demon whale to basically lose all resistance to its own curse-based skills. After encountering the attack of illusion, the demon swallowing whale stayed motionless in its original position, completely unable to resist. Squirtle, get rid of the opponent. Lu Shu said immediately. 100 Squirtles turned into small whirlwinds and launched a violent collision towards the devil swallowing whale. Killed instantly. You killed a demon whale and received X1 heart of the deep sea. Do you want to use it? Yes. The next second, Various heartbeat sounds came from Lu Shu's ears. The number of magic fish nearby seems to have decreased a lot. When you turn on the heart of the deep sea and hear the heartbeats of the nearby demonic fish, compared to the last time you explored, these heartbeats are obviously much less frequent. Perhaps it's because the nearby abyssal demonic fish sense a large number of fish deaths around them. So he stayed away from the sea area. The instinct of living creatures makes them different from the monsters in the gray world, and they know how to protect themselves and retreat in time. Lu Shu continued to search in the sea area for a while. By the way, he killed a few ghost lanternfish, once again increase the perception range of the field of view. Tip: a diamond-level treasure chest appears ahead. Finally come. Lu Shu's eyes lit up instantly. After exploring for so long, he finally got something important. Opening the diamond-level treasure chest, it was still the familiar advanced life essence. Lu Shu nodded with satisfaction, although he just repeated items, but the real value of advanced life essence is to increase the growth speed of the sacred tree and reduce the product cycle. Generally speaking, the products of the sacred tree are toward the back, the more fruits are produced, and the fruits are the level of his body will also become higher. The effect of life essence is equivalent to helping him greatly improve the progress of upgrading the sacred tree. Seeing that there is nothing around, Lu Shu continued to explore deeper into the sea. However, when he dived to a depth of 6,000 meters, suddenly, a barrier blocked Lu Shu's exploration. Tip: you have reached the maximum exploration range of the sea. Obtain new islands to unlock more sea areas. Are you within range? Lu Shu was not surprised by this. The last time, he felt that the 5,000-meter sea area was already the maximum range he could explore. This was only possible because of the integration of several other islands. Space. If those islands were not integrated, I am afraid that the sea area of up to 3,000 meters would have reached the end. Still need to get more islands. Lu Shu frowned slightly. To obtain a new island, you usually have to expand the area after the battle in the Grey World and connect it with the islands of other sacred tree masters. Killing other sacred tree masters, although you can get an island, but you have to wait until the island range is expanded and connected together before you can fuse it. Before the fusion, the range will still not be expanded, etc. Complete the Linyuan mission to obtain new islands. This is the fastest way I can get an island. Lu Shu suddenly realized the new island is not just waiting for this path. I have the Abyss illustrated book in my hand. As long as you complete the task, you can get a new island. I can't continue diving until my Grey Realm army goes to the Linyuan mission location and completes the mission. Lu Shu was in the sea area about 6,000 meters and began to sweep away the nearby treasures. At this moment, 3 demon-swallowing whales appeared in the same area. Lu Shu activated his purple pupil power. Suddenly he found that among these 3 behind the demon whale, there is a diamond treasure chest. His eyes lit up and he rushed forward. Abyss amplification. Abyss decline. Use these 2 skills together. The demon-swallowing whale's combat ability instantly dropped by several levels. Use that set of chain skills again. Squirtle doesn't even need Lu Shu's command. When the time is right, he can just hit it and it's done. Soon, Lu Shu got 3 deep sea hearts. He did not use these hearts directly, but saved them for the next time he explores deeper waters. Open the diamond treasure chest and get the second advanced life essence. Today's harvest is quite good. Lu Shu led Squirtle's army back to the Sacred Tree Island. Sacred Tree Island. Lu Shu's body once again threw all the diamond equipment swept up by howling abyss onto the 5-color altar. A burst of golden light shrouded, the 5 sacred stones were lit one by one. Ding! You have activated all the sacred stones in the 5-color altar. The remaining number of lucky critical hits, 1. Another lucky critical hit. The output of the nightmare level copy is really delicious. The collected equipment gave Lu Shu another opportunity for a lucky critical strike. He turned and looked towards the coast. The Squirtle army returned from this deep-sea exploration. The 2 life essences harvested can be used by the sacred tree again. Your sacred tree absorbs advanced life essence X2, and has evolution points at 2000. Detection: your sacred tree is in a state of rapid growth, and the product cycle is -2. There is only 1 day left before the fruit will be produced. Lu Shu felt a little pity. If he could harvest it directly, he could reach the realm of nascent soul 1 day earlier. Suddenly, a notification sounded in Lu Shu's ear. The deep-sea fishing rod has caught a diamond-level treasure chest. Did he actually fall into a diamond-level treasure chest? Lu Shu's eyes showed a hint of joy. Squirtle dived into the deep sea this time and came to an area below 6,000 meters. Therefore, the fishing rod can also dive to 6,000 meters. It is estimated that they have found the area they did not find just now. Caught the treasure chest. Open it and take a look. Advanced life essence. Use it on the divine tree again. This time, you can quickly produce the next product. As the divine tree absorbs the advanced life essence. Lu Shu's in front of me, 3 prompts popped up. Ding. You have obtained Nascent Soul Skill Fruit X1. Ding. You have obtained Primary Yuanying Fruit X1. Ding. You have obtained Advanced Growth Fruit X3. Lu Shu buried both the primary Nascent Soul Fruit and the Advanced Growth Fruit in the soil. Suddenly, 2 subspecies spiritual trees rise from the ground. Primary Yuanying Fruit Tree. Variety, subspecies Spirit Tree. Product, Primary Yuanying Fruit. Cycle, 0.5 days, 365/650. Number of productions remaining, 1. Advanced Growth Fruit Tree X3. Variety, subspecies Spirit Tree. Product, Advanced Growth Fruit. Cycle, 0.5 days, 365/650. Production times remaining, 3. Subsequently, Lu Shu swallowed the fruit of Nascent Soul Technique. Ding. You swallowed the fruit of Yuanying Kung Fu and obtained the heavenly Yuanying Kung Fu 3 flowers gather at the top. The next second. In Lu Shu's mind, there was an additional skill called 3 flowers gathering on the top. To be promoted to the Nascent Soul realm, you need to condense the Nascent Soul Dharma body. An ordinary Nascent Soul can only condense 1 Dharmakaya. However, the 3 flowers gathering on the top that I got can condense the 3 Dharma bodies when I first become a Nascent Soul. The Dharma body is equivalent to a more advanced clone. It can even use supernatural powers and can be superimposed with the buff aura of angel blessings. For me, it can be said to be quite useful. Lu Shu's eyes suddenly lit up. He only needs to wait for half a day to get the Nascent Soul fruit and hit the realm of the Nascent Soul. At this moment, the large army from the Grey Realm has arrived at the location of the Linyuan mission. Lu Shu's attention was immediately diverted. Planting trees for all, 3 consecutive SSS-level talents at the beginning. Author, Immortal. Chapter 104. Grey Realm. Location, Broken City. Coordinates, 64, 66. Danger Factor, E. Lu Shu led the Grey Realm army to the location of the Linyuan mission. This is a very ordinary safe area. Did a sweep around the area. Lu Shu didn't find much of value. The location of Linyuan's mission, where did it go? Expand the exploration formation. Lu Shu activated resonance to connect the vision of all pets together. Pikachu, Little White Fox, and Yuami spread out to explore the surrounding area. These little guys are already very fast, but in just a moment, the entire area was explored. At this moment, a prompt popped up in front of Lu Shu's eyes. Tip, 500 meters ahead, the entrance to the Linyuan mission appears. Go in the direction of the prompt. Lu Shu discovered that what appeared in front of him turned out to be the boundary of the gray world again. Is it the same place as the treasure map? The boundary entrance that appeared in front of us was somewhat close to the entrance that Lu Shu entered into the secret realm of the treasure map. A teleportation array was imprinted on the spot. You guys wait here first. I went over to see what was going on. Lu Shu said to the little guys behind him. The first Linyuan mission is still based on the principle of stability. Anyway, you won't suffer if you go in alone. Let's first find out what the Linyuan mission is like. Entering the border, the next second, Lu Shu opened his eyes and found that an island appeared in front of him. Divine Tree Master Island. After being stunned for a moment, Lu Shu recognized the scene in front of him, which was no different from the Sacred Tree Island at the beginning. However, the area of his island must be larger now. Is Linyuan's mission to start a battle between the Sacred Tree Masters? Just at this moment, Lu Shu activated his purple pupil power. His eyes came to the center of the island, a monster with an extremely ferocious appearance, covered in ink-colored armor, spitting black flames from its mouth, and looked much older than ordinary gray monsters. Much stronger. Black Flame Monster. Category, Warcraft, Abyss. Danger Coefficient, S+. Perception Range, Island. Power, 1200. Speed, 1150. Defense, 920. Skills, Abyss Power, World Destroying Black Flame, Death Sound Wave, Demon Roar, Blood Boiling. Description: Gray. The monsters in the world successfully captured the island of the Sacred Tree Master. When they eat the sacred tree, they will turn into the abyss. Roar. The next second, the black flame monster let out a deafening roar. It raised its head, sensing that an enemy was coming, and looked at Lu Shu's figure with its ferocious eyes. Swallowing the sacred tree. Could it be that? Are the monsters in the gray world attacking the island of the Sacred Tree Master just to eat the sacred tree and transform into the abyss? Lu Shu frowned slightly. He had many conjectures about the abyss. After all, many of the monsters he encountered before mentioned coming from the abyss. However, the abyss in the Linyuan mission was actually eaten by monsters from the gray world. The sacred tree of the Sacred Tree Master was transformed into an abyss. So, where did the abyss in the past come from? There was no time to think about it. The black flame demonic beast in front of me instantly jumped into the air and sprayed out towards Lu Shu. A mouthful of black flame. The black flame seems to have different attributes, is extremely penetrating, and can even cause damage to the body of the netherworld. Court death. Lu Shu's eyes turned slightly cold. Unmoved, he directly took out the holy sword and used the 1,000 blades of the demonic sword. The black flame dissipated the moment it collided with the blade of the demonic sword. Is it the Divine Tree Master's superpower? Lu Shu noticed that the flames of the black flame monster were unusual. It was not like the attack attributes of monsters in the gray world. It was more like the supernatural attack of the Divine Tree Master. If Lu Shu's attributes were not high enough and condensed, the purple energy in the golden elixir realm may not necessarily be able to penetrate the attack of the world-destroying black flame just by relying on the attributes of the holy sword. Roar. The black flame monster found that its black flame was ineffective against Lu Shu, and activated the death sound wave again. Lu Shu stood calmly, letting the sound wave resound throughout the world, without any impact on him. Having passed the nightmare level howling abyss, this S-level monster, although its attack methods have some mysterious changes, is not enough in Lu Shu's eyes. Die. The next second, Lu Shu raised the Guardian Scepter. The two buffs were superimposed. He cast Holy Light Judgment. A ray of holy light shrouded down. Your Holy Light Judgment attack overflowed and penetrated the abyss power of the black flame monster, causing critical damage. The black flame monster suddenly let out a painful cry. The next second, the blood in its body suddenly boiled. The body instantly expanded several times more than before. The black flame monster activated the power of blood, doubling its size and doubling all its attributes. Lu Shu continued to control the surrounding magic knives and slashed at the body of the black flame demonic beast. The damage from the holy light continued to fall on the black flame monster. This monster soon couldn't stand the continuous attacks, and angrily launched a frantic attack towards Lu Shu. All skills are used up. However, the suppression of attributes allowed Lu Shu to easily dodge all the skills of the black flame monster. The improved dodge of the Shadow Assassin, combined with the cultivation of the Golden Core Realm, makes the black flame monster now unable to even touch the corners of Lu Shu's clothes. Not long after, the effect of the power of blood has disappeared. The black flame monster entered a weak state, with all attributes reduced. As the last holy light exploded, it exploded on the body of the black flame demonic beast. The black flame monster's entire body suddenly turned into a ball of black flame and disappeared. Once you kill the boss of the Abyss mission and clear out the surrounding Abyss monsters, you can complete the mission. In addition to the black flame monster, there are other Grey World monsters on this sacred tree island. After gaining the power of the Abyss, they also possess the attributes of black flame. Most of the risk factors are between level A to level S. I see. The mission of Lin Abyss requires the elimination of the grey monsters that are about to become the Abyss. They successfully captured the island of the Sacred Tree Master. After swallowing the Sacred Tree, their strength will increase crazily in a short period of time. The higher the level of the Sacred Tree of the Sacred Tree Master, the higher the attribute increase the monster will get if it eats it. Even if the level of the Sacred Trees is not high, as long as they transform into the Abyss, their power will continue to expand. When the day comes when these monsters completely become the Abyss, there will be another nightmare-level copy in the Grey World. Lu Shu's eyes moved slightly. Although it is only an A-level Linyuan mission, but the danger coefficient of these bosses is at least S and level. And it is much more dangerous than ordinary S and level. If you don't know this information, the Sacred Tree Master who rashly enters the Linyuan mission may face death. Pikachu, you am I, little white fox. Come on in, all of you. Carry out the task of cleaning up the battlefield. Lu Shu passed on his spiritual thoughts. Soon after receiving Lu Shu's message, the pet army immediately entered the island where Lin Yuan was tasked. After killing the black flame monster, the monsters in this place are no longer dangerous. With this first experience, Lu Shu knew what kind of monsters he might face in the Lin Yuan mission next time. Then you can challenge the more difficult S-level missions and bring all the pet troops in directly. Suddenly there was a burst of electricity on the field. Pikachu opened his Sharingan, and a Chidori Raikiri appeared on his hand, instantly killing the surrounding monsters. Yumi possessed the little white fox and provided more mental power. The little white fox used void teleportation to continuously release the power of the dark fruit, harvesting all the monsters on the battlefield, in less than half a day. All the monsters on the battlefield have been wiped out. Finally, when the last monster was eliminated, a prompt popped up in front of Lu Shu. You have successfully completed this A-level Abyss mission and obtained A-level Abyss treasure chest X1. Do you want to open it? Yes. The next second, when the Abyss treasure chest was opened, information about various treasures popped up in front of Lu Shu. Ding. You get Heart of the Abyss X1. Ding. You have obtained Elementary Abyss Soul X1000, Intermediate Abyss Soul X300, and Advanced Abyss Soul X10. Ding. You got the Abyss Key X1. Ding. You have obtained the Advanced Abyss Skill Illustration Abyss Decay. Ding. You got Island X1, do you choose to fuse? It turns out that the Abyssal Quest can produce high-level Abyss Soul, Abyss Heart, and other materials. Lu Shu's eyes moved slightly. Do you want to combine primary abyssal X1000 into intermediate abyssal X100? Yes. Do you want to combine the mid-level abyssal X400 into a mid-level abyssal X40? Yes. A synthetic light curtain shrouded. Lushu has now obtained 50 high-level abyssal souls. There are still half of the abyss souls and a curse breath left to form the SS Netherlord. Next, Lushu set his sights on the Advanced Abyss Skills Illustrated Book. Do you want to unlock the Advanced Abyss Skill Illustrated Book, Abyss Decay? Yes. The next second, a skills panel appeared in front of Lushu. Abyss Decay. Level, Advanced, Abyss. Function, use the power of the Abyss to weaken the opponent's attributes by 35% and reduce the opponent's resistance to all attribute attacks. The attribute range of weakness has been increased by 15%. The bonus of the Abyss skills is quite good. Moreover, the success rate of Abyssal Decay is much greater than that of Advanced Curse. Even if it is used to fight against the Divine Tree Master, it can still be of great use. Lushu nodded slightly. Curse-type skills can easily be resisted by the spiritual power of the Divine Tree Master. Many dungeon bosses, including many dungeon bosses, are also highly resistant to debilitating skills. But Abyss-type skills, obviously there is no such limitation. It is basically as powerful as a superpower. Not only is the success rate high, but the degree of attribute weakening is also terrifying. It can often have a great impact on a single enemy. Do you want to choose Fusion Island? Yes. Following Lushu's thoughts, the cleared Linyuan Mission Island immediately merged with the natal Sacred Tree Island. Boom! With a violent vibration, this world, as if it had experienced a huge transfer, instantly merged with Lushu's island. The island's tectonic plates expanded like a miracle. The surrounding sea area has also become a lot larger. The depth of sea exploration has been increased. Lushu used his spiritual sense to explore and go away. While the Divine Tree Island is expanding, the explorable sea area is also increasing. After integrating this island, now, Lushu can dive up to 7,000 meters. Location, explore. Not only can the deep-sea fishing rod explore deeper seas again and obtain more treasure chests. Below 7,000 meters, it may also be a watershed, where you can encounter other types of abyssal devilfish, and obtain more treasures. High-end treasure chest. Squirtle, gather and go. Get ready to dive into the deep sea again. Go on a 7-kilometer exploration. Lushu immediately summoned Squirtle's large army and went to the deep sea. Open the Divine Tree panel. Products, Life Fruit, Special Growth Fruit X1. Production cycle, 6 days, 3900/650. Nascent Soul Fruit production is completed. Next. There are new fruits of life, ready to hatch. I don't know what kind of pet I will get from the next life fruit. A hint of expectation flashed through Lushu's heart. At this time, there were several continuous notification sounds in his ears. Ding! You got Monster Synthesis Fruit X1. Ding! You have obtained the City Defense Construction Fruit X1. Ding! Your primary Uenying fruit tree has reached the production cycle, primary Uenying fruit add 100. Ding! Your advanced growth fruit tree X3 has reached the production cycle, and the advanced growth fruit add 300. Planting trees for all, 3 consecutive SSS-level talents at the beginning. Author, Immortal. Chapter 105. Several prompts sounded in succession. Lushu looked at the divine tree of 10,000 arms. This sacred tree produces monster fruits and building fruits. As long as you eat this fruit, you can unlock the monster synthesis and defense building upgrade routes. Gently pick off the monster fruit. Take one bite. A prompt pops up immediately in front of you. Ding! You gain the power of monster synthesis. The monster synthesis route has been unlocked. Open the warehouse. Lu Shu looked at the soul inside. With the primary soul, I can synthesize 5,000 nether demon soldiers and 3,000 nether sacrifice. Intermediate souls can be synthesized into 1,000 nether mage for long-range firepower output in the back row. Advanced souls can be used to synthesize 5 netherworld priests and 5 netherworld lords. There are also some special materials, so it is not a problem to synthesize the SSS-level netherworld candle dragon. As Lu Shu thought, a selection box immediately appeared in front of him. Do you want to choose synthesis? Yes. The soul materials in the warehouse were immediately wiped out. A huge white light curtain appeared on Lu Shu's sacred tree island. Nearly 10,000 nether monsters walked out of the white light. At a glance, the aura of the mighty nether troops is even much more powerful than the army of 100,000 undead. All monsters are above A&D level. Almost all the troops of Wailing Abyss were moved to the sacred tree island. It would be a pity if these monsters were used to guard the home, right? Lu Shu frowned slightly, thinking about how to take these monsters away. The range of the teleportation array is not large enough. If so many monsters pass through the teleportation array in waves, it will cost a lot just to teleport them. Time. Like his undead army, can he put it into the bone staff and soul controlling order and take it with him? Lu Shu thought for a moment, and suddenly his eyes lit up. That's right. Isn't there a monster fusion room that can be used? Do you want to use it? If you let the nether element merge with the undead and turn into an undead ghost monster, then wouldn't all the strength of these large armies be able to enter the bone staff and soul controlling order and take them away directly? Think of this. Lu Shuxin with a thought. All the nether monsters, under the control of Lu Shu's thoughts, immediately came to the monster fusion room. Nether priest and nether demon lord are fused with S-level undead. The nether mage fuses with A and A-level undead. There are too many nether demon soldiers and nether world children. Just find some A-level to B+ level fusions, and that's basically it, right? Lu Shu selected the best troops from the undead army and merged them with the monsters of the nether world. Since we are building an elite army, of course we must choose the best ones for fusion. Soon. As Lu Shu selected arms, a fusion of light curtains descends. All the ghost-type monsters have acquired the attributes of the undead. Lu Shu only needs to raise the undead bone staff and the soul controlling order to collect these monster armies and carry them with him. As long as they are useful when you arrive, you can summon it at any time. It's much more convenient than the teleportation array. Next. Lu Shu ate the city defense building fruit again. Gained new city defense building ability. You only need to spend some basic materials to upgrade some city defense buildings. Chinook Cannon, Class A rightward arrow A and level consumes Tianling or X500. Mobile Building Fortress, upgrade the fortress area and movement speed, consuming primary or X500. Observation Tower, upgrade the field of view, consuming primary or X100. Lu Shu glanced at the upgrade projects. At present, there are no particularly good options. The quantity of Tianling mine is currently being used to build a defense line, and there is no extra ore. If you want to do large-scale building upgrades, there is a high demand for ore. For the time being, Lu Shu only consumed primary ores and upgraded the mobile building fortress. In addition to the larger range of the fortress, the movement speed is also faster. In the next city defense battle, Lu Shu can put the magical plants in the mobile fortress and adjust the combat positions of the magical plants at any time. In this way, the defense line of magical plants is equivalent to coming alive. It has a greater bonus effect than simply increasing the power of the psychic cannon. For the remaining items, if you find other treasure map locations, harvest a wave of supplies, and then make greater improvements. Lu Shu has now obtained a treasure map. As long as he goes to the secret realm to explore and replenish supplies, there will be no problem in upgrading these buildings. Focus on the elementary nascent soul fruit tree. Lu Shu was surprised to find that these fruits looked like ginseng fruits. Sit down cross-legged. Hold your breath and concentrate. He meditated and adjusted his breath for a while. Then Lu Shu picked off a primary nascent soul fruit and slowly put it into his mouth. The first time you take this higher level fruit, the spiritual energy contained in it will instantly fill the entire golden elixir. If the control is not good, there is a risk of backlash. However, obtain the heavenly nascent soul technique. To practice 3 flowers gathering on the top, Lu Shu originally needed to gather 3 Dharma bodies. If you condense the nascent soul Dharma body in advance before being promoted to nascent soul, then the chance of success in promotion will be higher. Swallow a primary nascent soul fruit, all at once. A majestic spiritual energy condensed in Lu Shu's belly. The golden elixir was injected with spiritual energy like a mountain torrent and tsunami, and it suddenly began to vibrate. Lu Shu concentrated his mind, controlled the sea of consciousness with his spiritual thoughts, and instantly condensed a nascent soul Dharma body. Boom! His cultivation also reached the 9th level of the golden core. Feeling the state inside his body, Lu Shu's mind moved slightly and said, I only need to condense the remaining 2 Dharma bodies and I can enter the nascent soul realm. Pick off the other 10 primary nascent soul fruits. Do you want to merge the primary nascent soul fruit X10 into the intermediate nascent soul fruit X1? Yes. With a burst of white light flashing, the 10 primary nascent soul fruits in front of Lu Shu were immediately synthesized into intermediate nascent soul fruits. Swallow this intermediate nascent soul fruit, and run 3 flowers gathering on top. Lu Shu began to condense the remaining 2 nascent soul images. In vivo. A Dharma body has been derived from the placenta of Digi, bathed in golden light and solemn with treasures. As Lu Shu swallowed another intermediate nascent soul fruit into his belly, all of a sudden, a majestic spiritual energy continues to condense around this Dharma body. The golden light slowly gathered into a human shape. The 3 Dharma bodies are in the posture of 3 flowers gathering on top, sitting cross-legged in the Tao womb. Lu Shu slowly used his mental power to control it, but after a long time, the appearance of the 3 Dharma bodies became closer and closer to Lu Shu's current appearance, until they were exactly the same. At this point, finally, the 3 Dharma bodies are completely condensed. Immediately afterwards, Lu Shu's momentum suddenly increased a lot. Nascent soul realm. Take a deep breath. Lu Shu stood up. At this moment, he drew out his sword casually. The world suddenly trembled. A strong nascent soul, turn your hands to become clouds, turn your hands to become rain. Open the panel. Lu Shu he found that his mental power had reached the SS level. He summoned 2 clones to his side. Lu Shu unexpectedly discovered that his clone could also summon 3 Dharmakayas. 3 clones, 3 Dharmakayas, like this, come on, wouldn't it be possible to have 9 Dharma bodies? With 9 Dharma bodies and 2 clones, if you use angel blessing together, the effect properties will explode. It's almost equivalent to using Split the Demon King's soul. After all, the Dharma body uses supernatural powers. The effect will not be weakened by 1/10. His eyes moved. The Bodhi tree sensed Lu Shu's realm breakthrough and bloomed slightly. Spiritual tree. Name, Bodhi tree. Level, Advanced spiritual tree. Attributes, Comprehension add 200. Enlightenment points, 37,500, 500 enlightenment points / day. Distance to the next stage, Holy Tree, 100000 enlightenment points. Promoted to the nascent soul realm. Lu Shu instantly added 10,000 enlightenment points to the Bodhi tree. The higher the realm, the higher the enlightenment points will be obtained. It is estimated that if the entire nascent soul realm is upgraded, the Bodhi tree can also evolve into a holy tree. The holy tree and the spiritual tree are a relatively big dividing line. When the time comes, the Bodhi tree may even have other attributes added to it. Xian He looked at Lu Shu with a bit of envy. During this period of time, Xian He had only cultivated to the 8th level of Xiantian. But Lu Shu has reached the nascent soul realm. This is a huge level improvement. Unknowingly, Xian He's realm was also thrown away by Lu Shu. Lu Shu could also take a long breath. This time, your pet won't be able to catch up with your cultivation progress. If this is the case, that would be so embarrassing. At last. Advanced growth fruits. The large army from the Grey World returned to the sacred tree island. The scent of high-grade growing fruits immediately attracted Pikachu, Little White Fox and Uami. These three guys smelled the high-grade growth fruits and immediately knew that something good was coming. Go and eat, Lu Shu said with a smile. It's been a long time since we improved the strength of the Grey Realm troops. After hearing Lu Shu's instructions, these little guys immediately ran to the fruit tree excitedly, gave one to each, and hugged Hinod in his arms. 3 times 5 divided by 2. All the fruits were eaten. These pets were glowing with the crystalline evolutionary brilliance. Lu Shu's eyes moved slightly. All the pet's attributes were obtained. Improve. The pet panel pops up in front of you. Pikachu. Type, Pokemon. Power, 100,000 volts, Shock Fruit, Charinon, Chidori. Physical, A+. Speed, S+. Spirit, S. Comprehensive Potential, SS+. UMI. Type, Magic Cat. Powers, Hitting and Blocking, Fishing Missile, UMI Possession, High Energy, Final Chapter of the Grimoire, Shining Fruit. Physical, A. Speed, A+. Spirit, S+. Comprehensive Potential, SS. Escape Fox. Type, Elf. Powers, Void Teleportation, Hostile Perception, Void Crack, Dark Fruit. Physical, A. Speed, S. Spirit, S. Comprehensive Potential, SS+. Seeing that all the friends around me have received advanced growth fruits, Squirtle can't sit still. Dragging his somewhat honest body, he crawled over. Wait for you. Lu Shu couldn't help but look happy. Squirtle could only watch the other friends eating, feeling a little aggrieved that he didn't have to eat. After waiting for half a day, the next 300 advanced growth fruits had also reached their peak production cycle. Squirtle finally ate the advanced growth fruit and evolved. Squirtle. Type, Pokemon. Powers, Rocket Headbutt, Water Cannon, Impact, Bubble Light, Water Fruit, Freezing Light, New. Physical, S. Speed, A+. Spirit, A+. Overall Potential, S. Squirtle's physique is the first to reach S level. Gained a new power, Freezing Light. It can be said that Squirtle's underwater combat ability has been improved again. The S-level physique allows Squirtle to collide in size with most of the abyss demonic fish. Attack power and other aspects have also been greatly improved. Lu Shu chose to feed the other 200 advanced growth fruits to Wu Tongfeng. Wu Tongfeng swallowed 200 advanced growth fruits and gained 20,000 evolution points. Wu Tong Phoenix has reached level 4, and evolving to level 5 requires exactly 20,000 evolution points. Lu Shu simply fed all 200 advanced growth fruits to this mythical creature. Wu Tong Phoenix. Level 5. Skills, Divine Fire, S level, Divine Fire starting a prairie, S level. Evolution points, 200. Evolution points required to upgrade to level 6, 100,000. This moment, the flames on Wu Tongfeng's body became more divine. The figure has changed from the original little firebird to the real mythical creature the phoenix. Gently spit out a source of fire. A prompt popped up in front of Lu Shu. You got S-level Divine Fire X1. Fire Source Divinity add 10. Your fire source has evolved into an intermediate divine fire. Come to the coast. After the island's area expanded, the surrounding explorable sea area also became much wider. Squirtle, come and gather. Lushu looked at the vast coast and sensed that the explorable space in the sea had become wider. He immediately asked Squirtle to go into the sea to explore. If a diamond-level treasure chest is found, it will increase the growth rate of the sacred tree. How the mighty Squirtle army immediately dived into the seabed. After passing the previous abyss, and heading towards the 7,000 meters below the seabed, they explored. When they reached the deepest distance, Lushu suddenly popped up in front of him. A reminder. You triggered a luck critical strike. A legendary treasure chest appears ahead. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Planting trees for all, 3 consecutive SSS level talents at the beginning. Author, Immortal. Chapter 106. Do you want to open the legendary treasure chest? Yes. The moment Lushu opened the legendary treasure chest, before his eyes, a trident-like weapon appeared in Lushu's field of vision. This is... Lushu's eyes moved slightly. As he probed with his spiritual consciousness, he immediately felt that this trident contained the power to control the secrets of the laws of nature. A panel popped up in front of me. Poseidon's Trident. Category, Weapon. Grade, Legend. Attributes, Attack power add 1500, Puncture add 500, Critical hit rate add 30%, Durability 9999. Skills, Endless Tsunami, Split Sea Water, Seabed Fault, Tearing Vortex, Poseidon Storm, Earthquake under the sea. Description: this is a weapon once owned by Poseidon. It has the power to control the sea. With this magic weapon, you can become the overlord in the sea. It turned out to be a legendary weapon. Lushu's eyes lit up slightly. Unexpectedly, the legendary treasure chest opened this time would provide a heavy reward. Compared with the auxiliary role of Dingai Pearl, Poseidon's Trident, in terms of attack, the benefits are higher. Being able to show extremely powerful attack power in the deep sea. At this moment, an even bigger devilfish appeared in front of Lushu. Abyss Overlord. Category, Abyss Demon Fish. Danger Factor, S. Perception Range, 2000 meters. Power, 3300. Speed, 3250. Defense, 4420. Skills, Sweep, Devour, Split Sea Water, Demon Scale Armor, Abyss Bloodline, Super Recovery, Abyss Amplification. Description: the Overlord level devilfish in the Abyss has received the amplification of the Abyss and has a certain resistance to all attribute attacks. Not far away, a huge creature swam towards Lushu. It is clear. It's guarding the legendary treasure chest. Otherwise, a devilfish of this level would usually appear 10,000 meters below the seabed before appearing. Feeling Lushu snatching away its beloved treasure chest, the Abyss Overlord immediately became extremely angry. Launched a death collision towards Lushu. Dodge sideways. Squirtle, spread out. Lushu could easily sense the movements of the Abyss Overlord and dodge. The nearby Squirtles heard Lushu's instructions and immediately dispersed to avoid being affected by the Abyss Overlord's tyrannical attack. Open the power of Purple Chi Pupil. Activate the illusion technique. Overlord of the Abyss has resistance to psychic attacks. Your illusion ability has been resisted. Resist? Shu frowned slightly. The Abyss increased, allowing the Abyss Overlord to ignore Lushu's illusion attack. He tried to release the advanced curse and Abyss weakness. As a result, even the abyssal skills can't have much effect on it. After all, the Abyss Overlord already has Abyss amplification, so Abyss-based skills will not have much impact on it. In this case, let's try the power of the Poseidon Trident on you. Lushu raised the Poseidon Trident and immediately waved it forward. If it's too soft, use the hard one. Directly use the most powerful attack to kill the Abyss Overlord. A wave of water immediately separated them. The sea surface swept towards the devilfish, whose body was equivalent to the level of the undersea overlord. The body of the devilfish was too huge, and there was no room to dodge in the face of this attack. Boom! The whole sea water followed. It started to vibrate. The scales on the surface of the Abyss Overlord's armor suddenly cracked layer upon encountering this terrifying attack. The blood that emerged from its body filled the entire seabed, even attracting some ghost lanternfish and demon-swallowing whales. Squirtle, go deal with the magic fish around you. Lushu directed his eyes at the nearby fish school. Although Squirtle's physique is good, the attributes of the Abyss Overlord are too high. Without Poseidon's trident, it would be difficult to cause damage to such a behemoth. Too much damage. Turn on the purple air eye power. Release Abyss weakness. Use illusion. Lushu's eyes turned slightly cold. These skills can't deal with the Abyss Overlord, so why can't they deal with other devilfish below S level? Suffered several negative buffs from Lushu. The nearby Abyss demonic fish was affected by several skills of Lushu and was immediately unable to move. Squirtle directly collides with its hard turtle shell and can successfully defeat the opponent. After a period of combat training, Squirtle has now become very strong in terms of combat consciousness. Many times, these little guys know what to do without Lushu saying anything. Oh, no. Should he be called the big guy? After Squirtle's physique has been improved, his size is much larger than that of Pikachu and Little White Fox. If I eat a few more advanced growth fruits, I'm afraid I will be comparable to the golden dragon koi. With Squirtle to deal with other miscellaneous fish, Lushu can concentrate on dealing with this behemoth. The Abyss Overlord was threatened and began to swim crazily towards every corner of the sea. Although this guy is huge, his swimming speed is quite slow. Under full acceleration, it is difficult to capture the opponent's movement trajectory even with the naked eye. Plus, the field of vision in the deep sea is quite limited. Killed several ghost lanternfish. Lushu's field of vision was only more than 2,000 meters. However, the Abyss Overlord swam around casually and instantly left Lushu's sight. He didn't know where he went. Tip, 2,200 meters ahead, the Abyss Overlord appears. When this prompt appeared in front of him, Lushu instantly took out the Ding Haizu. Certainly. The sea water was immediately settled. The Abyss Overlord wanted to continue to use roundabout tactics to confuse Lushu's vision. But as soon as the Define bead came out, the surrounding sea water space was imprisoned, and the Abyss Overlord could only struggle desperately with its huge body. But he couldn't move at all. Completely controlling the Abyss Overlord, Lushu kept waving the Poseidon Trident. The sea water turned into huge sharp blades, cutting the body of the Abyss Overlord. The Abyss Overlord could only stand passively and be beaten, with no ability to resist. After suffering several consecutive attacks from Lushu, finally, this behemoth in the abyss slowly sank towards the bottom of the sea. A prompt popped up in front of Lushu's eyes. You killed the Abyss Overlord and received X100 of rare fish meat and X1 of cursed breath. Can you actually get the cursed aura? Lushu's eyes moved slightly. Did the Abyss demon fish suffer some kind of curse to become so powerful? Among them, the most obvious one is the Abyss Overlord. Lushu vaguely guessed that there might be another one under the deep sea. The existence of the Abyss. And, this abyss may not be as simple as a nightmare-level copy. No matter what, it is a good thing to be able to obtain cursed breath. This special material can be used to synthesize more powerful monsters. Now, Lu Shu only needs to gather the other half of the materials to summon the boss of Wailing Abyss, the Lord of the Netherworld. Then clean up the nearby ghost lanternfish and demon swallow whale. Lu Shu obtained a huge amount of rare fish. The visual field of view perception range has also been increased from more than 2,000 meters to a perception range of 3,000 meters. This sea area is basically completely polluted by the blood of the abyss demon fish. The nearby demon fish sensed the aura of a large number of deaths of their kind, and they all ran to other places, realizing that there was a fatal threat in this area. Continuing to scan the area, Lu Shu did not find any more treasure chests. Obtaining a legendary treasure chest can be regarded as using up all the luck. Smiling, Lu Shu didn't pay much attention to anything. Obtaining a cursed breath is already a considerable gain. The rest is just to find another Linyuan mission, open the Linyuan treasure chest, and synthesize Lord of the Netherworld is no problem. Next, Lu Shu has a great chance to upgrade the undead army to the Netherworld army. By then, he will be a mobile nightmare level copy. Back to the coast. Lu Shu made rare fish meat and top grade fish meat into delicacies and posted them to the transaction interface. But, this time, Lu Shu changed the terms of exchange to silver level and gold level weapons. 100 servings of ordinary delicacies a day are exchanged for silver level weapons. Top quality delicacies, limited to 10 servings per day, can be exchanged for gold level weapons. Trading interface. Seller, Lu Shuren. Product, fish sashimi. Exchange conditions, silver level weapons. Trading interface. Seller, Lu Shuren. Goods, rare fish bones. Exchange conditions, gold level weapons. When these two products appeared on the transaction interface, they were sold out instantly. World public screen. Lusha boss actually put fish-related delicacies on the shelves, and I actually grabbed it. Today is my lucky day. What? The boss of Lushu has also made fish meat. Doesn't he want to compete with the boss of Shrimp Catcher? Grab a yarn? You might as well say that the Shrimp Catcher is competing for business with the Lusha boss. He thinks that in the entire Divine Tree game, he is the only one who can make fish delicacies, and the asking price is a platinum level weapon. You are crazy. Ha ha ha, if Mr. Lusha continues his operation, basically no one will buy anything from the Shrimp Catcher. This wave of price reduction is beautiful. He is worthy of being a tree-plumping boss. No one on the list charges such outrageous market prices. Who does this Shrimp Catcher think he is? Lu Shu glanced at the chat box and felt a little surprised. Shrimp Catcher? What the hell is this? After flipping through the chat history, Lu Shu found out that recently there was a Divine Tree Master who specialized in making delicacies, with the ID of the Shrimp Catcher. Because he was the only one who put fish-related delicacies on the shelves, he attracted many customers. But the Shrimp Catcher, who had tasted the sweetness, quite outrageously raised the price of a delicacy to as high as a platinum level weapon. However, the limited edition delicacies he released were not only made from rare fish, but also only required gold level weapons. Suddenly, this is how the difference comes out. Lu Shu was still thinking about whether it would be a bit too high to exchange for a gold level weapon. Who would have known that such a funny guy as the Shrimp Catcher would raise the price quite ridiculously? In contrast, all the Sacred Tree Masters found that Lu Shu was truly conscientious. Not only is it number one on the list, but it also specifically controls market prices. It immediately gained a very good reputation. The most important thing is, the fish delicacies produced by Lu Shu are many times more delicious than those of Xiaokenhu. Oh my god, the delicacies made by Lusha boss will definitely crush that Shrimp Catcher. It's not on the same level at all. I seem to taste the taste of a state banquet. It's unimaginable that just a piece of sashimi can bring me such a wonderful and endless experience. What kind of rubbish is the delicacy produced by the Xiao Xiaohu? Compared with the food produced by Lusha Boss, it is not on the same level at all. Gen. The last time I ate his food, I tasted a strange smell. Does this guy know how to cook? Did he just get some fish and start raising prices? Anyway, after tasting the delicacies sold by Lusha Boss, I will never buy any product from that profiteer again. Whoever buys it is a fool. Last time I went to communicate with this guy, his attitude was so rude that I didn't know what to say. Why did you give him face? That's right, just look for the tree-laying boss next time and you'll be done. After this comparison, anything sold by shrimp collectors, none of the items can be sold. For a while, his reputation suddenly turned bad. The peak of life and the trough of life are just in such a short moment. Lushu was naturally too lazy to pay attention to these things. All the weapons exchanged were thrown into the five-color altar, buzz buzz. As three strange sounds sounded, the three sacred stones were lit. While Squirtle was diving into the deep sea, Lushu also led the large army from the Grey World, passed through the teleportation array again, headed for the Grey World, and rushed towards the place where the treasure map was hidden. During this period, we also raided an abyss-level dungeon, and obtained a considerable amount of equipment output. Open the warehouse. Lushu threw all the equipment to the five-color altar. Ding! You have activated all the sacred stones in the five-color altar. Remaining number of lucky critical hits, 1. Get another lucky critical hit. At this moment, in front of Lushu's eyes, a prompt from the Grey World Army suddenly popped up. You triggered a luck critical strike. Tip: a treasure map appears ahead. Planting trees for all, 3 consecutive SSS-level talents at the beginning. Author: Immortal. Chapter 107. Grey Realm. Location: Demon Outpost City. Coordinates: 77, 76. Danger Factor: S+. After several days of movement, the large army in the Grey World arrived at an abyss-level dungeon. This city was originally a human city. But since it was occupied by the demons, it was converted into an outpost. The scale is roughly similar to Castlevania, at this moment. The way Lushu looked at the abyss-level copy was the same as seeing a supply location. I just went in without any hesitation. Others were going to conquer the dungeon. He seemed to be going to rob. Behind. The army of the undead and the army of the underworld are approaching the city. With a sweep, very quickly. The city was swept away in an instant. Lushu used the various weapons obtained to throw them into the five-color altar, activating the next luck critical strike. At this moment, a prompt suddenly popped up in front of Lushu's eyes. You triggered a luck critical strike. Tip: a treasure map appears ahead. Found another treasure map. Lushu's eyes were slightly stunned. The luck critical strike had just been triggered, and it happened again. The treasure map is hidden in this copy. However, the location is even more secret. It is hidden under an underground river. If it weren't for the prompts and luck critical strikes, it would be hard to imagine that someone would hide the treasure in such a place. But after a while, Lushu quickly found the treasure map according to the direction of the prompts. Treasure map. Location: Holy Land of 10,000 Stones. Coordinates: 77, 77. Description: a world hidden in the grey mist boundary. If you can find these locations, congratulations, you will open the door to a new world. Is it nearby? Lushu was overjoyed when he saw the coordinates of the treasure map. His coordinates are now only one coordinate away from the treasure map. He only needs to move a little to find the treasure map. There is no ferry, the Holy Land of Dome is so far away. There are treasures in the nearest place. If you don't dig now, why wait? After cleaning this abyss-level dungeon, Lushu rushed towards the coordinates, 77, 77. After half a dozen days and days of traveling, The location of the treasure map is getting closer and closer. At this moment. Look, there seems to be a border near here. Should we go in and see what's inside? A voice entered Lushu's ears. At the same time, a prompt appeared in front of Lushu's eyes. 500 meters ahead, the Divine Tree Master appears. Look in the direction of the sound. Lushu felt a little surprised. The person who came into view turned out to be the Shota in black he met at the edge of the city of the living dead. When he was about to attack Death Manor, Shota in black followed several teammates and met Lushu. I originally thought that this guy was just a cannon fodder, but I didn't expect that after joining the guild, he actually got involved. It's not Muyu Pavilion and Dark Knight Alliance. In the recent Sacred Tree game, there are also some other guilds established, specially responsible for bringing the power of the Divine Tree Master together. The most important thing in forming a guild is contract type abilities. Lushu once also obtained a devil contract. With the constraints of the contract, the fight between guild members will be restrained and they can be more trustworthy. Certainly. There are also some guilds that specially formulate tricks to deceive people and deceive the Sacred Tree Masters, turning them into workers for others. There is nothing they can do about it. As the black-clothed Shota finished speaking, teammates from several nearby guilds also rushed towards that place. They actually discovered the border. Lushu's eyes turned slightly cold. He didn't intend to let others see the secret. Summon the undead army and the netherworld army. Lushu directly let his monsters rush over and eliminate these Sacred Tree Masters. Of course. He himself did not come forward immediately. The Divine Tree Master can transmit the memory video. Lushu did not intend to expose his information, so he directly chose to control the Nether troops and went to deal with these Divine Tree Masters. Even Pikachu did not intend to dispatch. Because, if you let others see Pikachu, they will also doubt your own strength. If other Tree Masters learn about your information, they may come up with ways to restrain and target, although at this stage, it is unlikely that there are Tree Masters who can. After finding this method, Lushu still chose to play it safe. After taking a look at the size of this group of Sacred Tree Masters, it seems that there are no particularly valuable sacred trees. In this case, then just eliminate them and that's it. Oh. No. If you have extra souls, you can use them to replenish the undead army. The gray edge of the treasure map. A gap appeared in front of Shota in black. This guy's eyesight is also quite sharp. Even small details like this can be discovered. Around him, several young men and women walked in twos and threes. It looks like he is about the same age as the young lady in black. One of the young men with a slightly mean face couldn't help but sneered, "The grey world is so dangerous. If you approach this gap rashly, you may die without knowing how." The black-clothed Shota looked a little ugly after being rebuffed like this. But thinking that the other party had more abilities than him, he had no choice but to hold back his breath and didn't dare to say anything. At this time, a group of undead army suddenly swept over the group of men and women. Damn it! Isn't this the neutral zone of the grey world? Why are there so many monsters? The group of teenagers were immediately frightened. Next to them, a little Lolita in a short skirt raised a holy light staff and chanted a spell. As a ray of holy light came, the little Loli waved the staff. He used restrained holy light magic to attack the undead. However, the undead only paused slightly. But it did not dissipate immediately as expected. How come the undead are immune to my holy light magic? The little Loli suddenly turned pale. The mean boy glared at the black-clothed Shota with anger and cursed. What have you done, and why are these monsters coming towards us? The black-clad Shota's mind was filled with questions. Holy shit! Can you blame yourself for this? I just saw a gap. I didn't actually go in. Besides, these monsters clearly didn't come out of the gap, so what do you care about me? Stop talking nonsense and quickly use the teleportation ability. If you are still talking nonsense, do you want to survive? Behind a young lady in black, a lady wearing a red cheongsam scolded the mean boy. Snort. The mean boy snorted coldly, then stretched out his right hand, and chanted a brief spell. A teleportation array suddenly appeared on the ground. As the teleportation light curtain flashed, it only took a second or two. These boys and girls can be teleported to an area 2 coordinates away. Teleportation ability. Lu Shu's expression was suddenly shocked. He had made a mistake just now? At a glance, these young people's abilities were all C level and B level, which was a bit uninteresting to Lu Shu. But, this one with a mean face, the boy actually awakened the A-level teleportation ability. The current trading market. The value of an A-level teleportation ability is equivalent to that of an S-level ability. Lu Shu only focused on looking at the effects of the superpower and noticed that the boy's superpower was more functional, but did not notice that it was teleportation. This treasure could not be let go. The transmission speed is a bit fast. Lu Shu frowned slightly. Apparently, that young man's teleportation fruit was extraordinary. It can be teleported quickly and instantaneously. It is a very valuable fruit of the sacred tree. Relying on the speed of the Netherworld army was not enough to kill these divine tree masters before teleportation. After weighing the balance, Lu Shu activated the purple energy eye power. Release a mental attack on the boy. Reaching the level of nascent soul realm. Lu Shu's mental power reached SS level. However, that young man's mental power was only B level at best. The distance between them is so different. With just one look, Lu Shu could kill the opponent instantly. The moment his pupil power fell on the mean boy, there was a trace of confusion in the other person's pupils. Then, the pupils gradually turned white, and the consciousness of the mean boy gradually became completely blurred. A reminder appeared in front of Lu Shu. You killed the Divine Tree Master's Quick Pass and obtained the Quick Pass Divine Tree. A teleporting light curtain fell. These men and women finally escaped. Fortunately, we survived. The black-clothed Shota took a long breath and felt lingering fear. He turned to look at the mean boy, only to find that the other person's body fell straight towards him. Damn it! The black-clothed Shota was immediately startled and quickly backed away. Hey, are you okay? The lady in red stepped forward, leaned down gently, and stretched her green hand to the tip of the mean boy's nose. Suddenly her face changed. He was dead and out of breath. Everyone suddenly felt a chill behind their backs. A teammate beside them died so inexplicably. How did he die? Everyone only saw a teleportation light curtain flashing by, but they did not notice what happened to this young man. Damn it! The unknown is always scary. Sister Yu took a deep breath, looked at the black-clothed Shota, and asked, you just saw a gap, right? The black-clothed Shota hesitated for a moment and nodded, yes, I sensed that gap. There may be other spaces inside, but I don't know what is inside. When I was about to go over and take a look, I was attacked by this group of monsters. Speaking of this, everyone actually vaguely guessed that the attack of this group of monsters might have something to do with the gap. Sister Yu's face suddenly changed, as if she realized something. Are we encountering a Linyuan mission? Linyuan mission. Other members of the team suddenly realized this. Some time ago, the progress of the Divine Tree game accelerated, and the Linyuan mission appeared. Could it be that these monsters are a part of the Linyuan mission? Send it to the world public screen first so that other big guys can see it. Sister Yu pondered for a moment and then said, their group is not a powerful guild. Being able to get to this point actually relies on the teleportation of the mean boy. In times of crisis, this teleportation can evacuate all team members in a very short period of time. Because of this, their strength is not strong, but because they retreated quickly enough, they dare to commit suicide in the Grey World. Now that the mean boy is dead, this team no longer dares to wander around in the gray world. It's almost time to return to the island to guard their homes. Ding. Memory video uploaded. Yuja is on the public screen at all members. Soon. The experiences of this group of teams set off a frenzy of discussion in the chat box of Shensha game. World public screen. Xiaokang at all members, everyone, come and watch this video. We were attacked by a group of very powerful monsters in a neutral safe area. I don't know if they are copies of Lin Yuan. When everyone saw the content of the video, everyone was shocked immediately. Oh my god, this damn guy definitely didn't provoke a nightmare level copy. I can't even count the dense A level monsters. To be honest, I have been to an abyss level dungeon, and they are definitely not as scary as these monsters. Oh my god, what's going on with these undead? The restrained skills of the holy light system are useless against them. Aren't these things immune to physical attacks? Holy light magic is useless, so how can we fight? What a waste of time. Your lives are too big, you can survive encountering these monsters, you are really awesome. These monsters, it has the attribute of the abyss, so it is immune to attacks from the holy light system. At this time, some big guys came forward one after another. Pointed out why these monsters cannot be killed by holy light powers. Damn it, is there such a heaven-defying skill as the abyss increase? These monsters are too awesome, so how do you kill them? You can ask the tree-laying guy at the top of the list, he must have experience in this. Yes, I just cleared a nightmare level dungeon. I thought the gap between me and the boss was already big enough, but I didn't expect it to be even bigger than I thought. Do you think these monsters are part of the Lin Yuan mission? It seems really possible. Could it be said that Lin Yuan missions are just monsters that move neutrally in these copies? Wow, wouldn't it be difficult for us to find the location of Lin Yuan's mission? Nonsense, these monsters are all mobile, how could they be found so easily? Now, all the sacred tree masters have reached a consensus, the Lin Yuan mission is the kind of neutral monster that floats around the gray world and can run around. Mu Tingfen was also paying attention to this incident. Her brows furrowed slightly. The term Lin Yuan's mission can be explained quite well. But I always feel like something is weird. And Anya narrowed his eyes slightly. So are these moving monsters the Lin Yuan mission? He immediately sent his subordinates from the Dark Knight Alliance to find the location of these neutral monsters. Once you have any news, report it immediately and you will be rewarded. Soon. In the gray world, some big guys started to stir up a stir in search of neutral monsters. The real person behind all this, Lu Shu, was watching the new sacred tree appear in front of him. Quickly pass on the sacred tree. Planting trees for all, 3 consecutive SSS-level talents at the beginning. Author, Immortal. Chapter 108. Sacred Tree Island. In front of Lu Shu, there is a new divine tree teleportation array. Is this the island of the god tree? As he stepped into the teleportation array, the teleportation light curtain enveloped Lu Shu's head. The next second, Lu Shu came to another island in an instant. It is indeed a sacred tree related to teleportation. Even the teleportation array on the divine tree island seems to have become much faster. Lu Shu marveled, and turned his attention to the sacred tree in the center of the island. There was a teleportation circle engraved around this sacred tree. Lu Shu quickly used his mental power to follow this sacred tree. Communicate, it only takes a moment. This sacred tree has become Lu Shu's sacred tree. A new sacred tree panel appears in front of you. Divine tree, quick pass. Stage, intermediate spiritual tree. Sunshine, 140/day, 1.4 x 100. Spiritual energy, 130/day, 1.3 x 100. Product, fast pass fruit. Production cycle, 2 days, 1100/550. Growth points, 5500, 11.4 x 100 equal 1140/day. Next stage, advanced spiritual tree, 20,000 growth points. There is already a fruit growing on this Kuai Chuan Shen tree. No need to wait, just pick and eat. Lu Shu walked forward quickly and gently picked the fruit. Information about this fruit pops up in front of me. Pass the fruit quickly. Grade A. Function, can instantly teleport all beings within the teleportation array to a specified distance. Rules, your SS-level mental power can teleport up to 5 coordinate points, and the cooling time is 7 days. 5 coordinate points. This ability is already quite good. Although the cooldown time is 7 days, with this skill, the time spent on the road can be greatly reduced. There was a hint of joy in Lu Shu's eyes. He could let the danger factor control the undead troops at level B to explore various areas of the Grey World, and then the main force would go directly to the dungeon to fight at the fastest speed. Well, it is also a better way to spread out the troops. Anyway, with the Netherworld army, the current B-class undead are not very useful to Lu Shu. It is better to let them explore various places in the Grey World, which can bring more benefits to the island. Pull as many monsters as you want. Swallow the quick transfer fruit. Lu Shu immediately gained the power of quick transfer. This kind of teleportation ability not only spans a distance as far as 5 coordinates. Moreover, it only takes a second or two for the teleportation array light curtain to arrive and teleport. If you encounter a dangerous enemy, you can even use the skill to pull him out of the dungeon instantly, which greatly improves safety. It is indeed the fruit of fast transmission, and it still has practicality. Lu Shu nodded with satisfaction. This boy's sacred tree is very good. However, it is his own now. Open the world public screen. Seeing the chat between the divine tree masters above, Lu Shu's brows wrinkled slightly. These guys actually thought that my Netherworld army was a Linyuan mission. There should be many sacred tree masters now, starting to look for the gaps in the Grey World, thinking that this is the entrance to the Linyuan mission. Of course, the crack at the boundary of the Grey World may indeed be the entrance to the Linyuan mission, but it may also be the entrance to the treasure map. I have to move faster to avoid letting others get there first and enter my treasure map location by mistake. There are so many players in the Divine Tree game. Even if they don't have a treasure map, if they really go and hit it by mistake, they might actually find the area where the secret realm is. Of course. After this news is announced, it may not be possible. It's a bad thing. At least, some timid sacred tree masters will definitely not dare to enter the crack. Knowing this news can also make some weak sacred tree masters vigilant and not enter the crack casually. Even, they got the treasure map and found the corresponding location, but they saw a crack. Maybe they thought the treasure map was trapping them and gave up on entering. This is what might happen. Think of this. Lu Shu immediately entered the Holy Land of 10,000 stones. Those few fish that slipped through the net and sent the video to the chat box might attract the nearby sacred tree masters. We can't let others get in first. Grey World. Lu Shu stepped into the crack. A new world suddenly appeared before our eyes. The sacred mountain in this holy land seems to have many good things. Turning on the purple air eye power, Lu Shu's vision suddenly spanned 1,000 meters and focused on the sacred mountain in the distance. From the perspective of the purple air eye power that can see through the essence of all things, the holy mountain breeds a majestic spiritual energy. It is not difficult to guess, there are fairy stones gestating there, and there are countless treasures. Lu Shu immediately rushed towards the direction of the sacred mountain. No need for Lu Shu to say more. When they arrived at this familiar place, these little guys immediately spread out, looking for each other. A treasure somewhere. But after a while, reminders appeared in front of Lu Shu's eyes. Ding! You have obtained rare grade Tianling or X 25,000. Ding! You have obtained epic purple spirit or X 25,000. Ding. You have obtained the legendary Tianqian Mine X 25,000. Lu Shu's eyes suddenly lit up. This sacred mountain is a good place rich in spiritual minerals. Not only did he obtain Tianling Mine and Xiling Mine, Lu Shu also obtained another legendary ore, Tianqian Mine. This kind of ore, it seems to be specially used to upgrade buildings. And the attributes are more offensive-oriented. Lu Shu used his spiritual consciousness to explore the newly acquired Tianqian Mine. Compared with the basalt mine, which is made of solid and indestructible material, the aura contained inside the Tianqian Mine is much richer. Moreover, this aura also carries with it the secret of Tianqian. If used to upgrade the psychic cannon, it can also add other attributes to the psychic cannon, greatly increasing the damage to special monsters. Having just obtained the building upgrade skill, Lu Shu is still worried about where to get one. A big wave of upgraded supplies. I was dozing off, and the pillow came by itself. Isn't it beautiful? Behind the sacred mountain, there is a relatively well-preserved palace. Look carefully, the buildings with carved dragons and paintings are full of luxury and wealth. The palaces are symmetrically distributed. The palaces display statues of past kings, and their faces are lifelike. It is conceivable that before the civilization disappeared, this place was once it is a place of kings. Lu Shu explored the palace and discovered a rare clothing fabric, 9-clawed golden dragon silk. Ding. You have obtained a rare cloth, 9-clawed golden dragon satin X10086. Using this kind of fabric, combined with master-level clothing production, you can make more gorgeous clothing. However, here's the problem. Lu Shu's current clothing production is only top-notch. Above the top level is the master level. Collecting the rare silks and satins, Lu Shu walked toward the sutra pavilion of the palace. There should be some skill illustrations there that can be learned. As expected, several illustrated books were found by Lu Shu. Several prompts popped up in front of my eyes. You have obtained the master skill illustration, clothing making. You have obtained the master skill illustration, cooking. You have obtained the master level skill illustration, Emperor's Dominance. Do you want to study? Yes, yes, yes. If you have skills to learn, how can you refuse? Soon. Lu Shu's cooking and clothing making have been upgraded to master level. The cooking skills have improved to the next level, as you can imagine. Next time, the delicacies produced by Lu Shu will probably cause a heated discussion on the world public screen. Moreover, if master-level cooking uses rare ingredients, selling platinum-level equipment shouldn't be too much, right? At that time, you can speed up the activation speed of the 5-color altar's sacred stones. Subsequently, Lu Shu's eyes were focused on the 9-clawed golden dragon satin. Will it be produced? Yes. Lu Shu immediately made a set of rare clothes for himself. The bonus of lucky points suddenly reached 100. The blessing bonus has also reached an astonishing figure of 200 points. Pets use less cloth, so the luck bonus is only 35 points, while the blessing bonus is 50 points. The costumes of all the members suddenly became several levels higher. The last skill. Emperor's Domineering. Level, Master. Function, it releases Imperial Domineering energy from the body, weakening the opponent's combat awareness and resistance, and can have an effect on Lord-level monsters and boss. It turns out to be specifically used to restrain Lord-level monsters and dungeon bosses. Lu Shu's eyes moved slightly, understanding the function of this skill. It seems simple, but it should not be underestimated. Imperial Haki can weaken the resistance of Lord monsters and boss, which is a very important skill. Usually, the resistance of these monsters extremely high, and general curses and debilitation have no effect on them at all. But Emperor Haki was born specifically to restrain these monsters and boss. If the armor can be broken with the Emperor's domineering force, the subsequent damage will be instantly increased to a higher level. My Emperor's domineering energy can weaken the enemy's resistance to all attributes. Combined with Abyss Decay and Advanced Curse, the enemy's strength can be reduced by at least 50%. Coupled with the purple energy and illusion, you can easily control your opponent and kill him instantly with one strike. Lu Shu showed a thoughtful expression and then nodded. When he enters the Abyss next time and encounters the Abyss Overlord, he can weaken the armor of this Lord-level monster by releasing the Emperor's domineering energy and resistance. After solving it again, you don't need to work so hard to carry out continuous attacks. You can directly control it and kill it instantly, which is more refreshing. Explored some distance. Lu Shu has already gained quite a lot in this holy land. If you update your clothes in time and improve your luck attributes, it seems that some good things will happen. It didn't take long. Lu Shu found another Tiandao stone tablet. Tip: a Tiandao stone tablet appears ahead. Directly use the teleportation array to transfer to the Divine Tree Island. Before he knew it, Lu Shu had obtained 3 heavenly Dao stone tablets. We are already a quarter of the way to the goal of 12 heavenly Dao stone tablets. I originally thought this would be an unattainable goal, but the progress is unexpectedly much faster than expected. The moment it was transferred, Lu Shu's Sacred Tree Island and various mythical buildings immediately connected with the Tiandao stone tablet. The next second, the aura of the island becomes even richer. The heavenly secret formation connects the heavenly waystone tablets, and the phantom-like Tai Chi yin and yang diagram appears on the entire island again, but it looks more mysterious, repeatedly containing the numbers of heavenly way, and hiding endless secrets. The aura of the entire island suddenly became much richer than before. Faintly. Being in the formation not only has a blessing effect on cultivation, its suppressive effect on monsters in the Grey World is even greater and more powerful than before. The Myth Ruins panel pops up in front of you. Mythological Ruins. Tianmen, incomplete, Tiandao stone tablet. Blessing add 75, comprehension add 30, domain suppression add 5%, domain amplification add 5%. Domain suppression? Field growth. Lu Shu's eyes immediately moved to these two attributes. As the name suggests, the meaning of domain is that you can get this effect if you are in the domain of the island. The suppression is aimed at the monsters from the Grey World who come to capture the island, whether they are Lord level or not. Monsters will be suppressed, weakening their resistance, making it easier to cause a lot of damage. The effect of domain increase is extremely wide. Any positive buff can increase by 5%. It is equivalent to an increase in all attributes. 5%. This is an unparalleled attribute. Although the bonus is very low, this attribute can increase even Lu Shu's cultivation speed, so it is very practical. It's time for a breakthrough. Lu Shu's eyes moved slightly. After reaching the nascent soul stage and undergoing some consolidation, Lu Shu was able to make breakthroughs towards a higher realm. Last time, when I was promoted to the nascent soul realm, there were still a lot of primary nascent soul fruits that I had not consumed. Lu Shu immediately synthesized an intermediate nascent soul fruit and swallowed it. The next second, his cultivation level has once again entered a state of rapid improvement. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Planting trees for all, 3 consecutive SSS-level talents at the beginning. Author, Immortal. Chapter 109. As Lu Shu ate the nascent soul fruit, his aura increased again. After half a day of practice, a strange phenomenon suddenly occurred in this world. Golden clouds condensed in the sky, turned into golden waves, and poured down. The surrounding spiritual energy was actually blessed by the mythical ruins, turned into the purest golden spiritual energy, and was poured into Lu Shu's nascent soul. His cultivation level immediately increased rapidly in a short period of time. breaking through to the second level of nascent soul. Lu Shu opened his eyes, and his aura increased a bit again. Focus on building upgrade. After this period of exploration, Lu Shu obtained a lot of extremely high-grade ores in the Holy Land of 10,000 stones. The island's defense line has been almost completed. The extra ores can be used to upgrade other city defense buildings. As Lu Shu thought, the Tianling mine in the warehouse was suddenly consumed in large quantities. At the same time, reminders appeared in front of Lu Shu. You have consumed X10,000 of Tianling ore, and all the psychic cannons have been upgraded from a level to A and level. You have consumed Tianling ore. You spent 3,000 Tianling ore to upgrade the observation tower to a class A observation tower, which can observe everything 3,000 meters under the sea. The power of the psychic cannon has been greatly enhanced, and it can now instantly kill monsters with a risk factor of around a level over a wide range. The defensive nature of the mobile building fortress has been improved a bit, and the movement speed is nearly half of the original. It is easier to move and pull with the attacking monsters. The observation deck can actually observe the scene on the bottom of the sea, and the distance reaches 3,000 meters. This discovery gave Lu Shu some unexpected gains. Although the depth of 3,000 meters under the sea is not very deep, the scope of the sea area is much wider than the abyss sea area below 3,000 meters. In addition, Lu Shu has integrated several islands, and there are still many places that have not been explored. However, after Lu Shu dived into the sea area below 3,000 meters, the income and output were higher, so he did not explore the ordinary sea area above 3,000 meters. Necessary. But the observation deck can observe the scene of 3,000 meters under the sea. In this way, wouldn't it be possible to have a panoramic view of any treasure chests? The city defense buildings have undergone a wave of large-scale upgrades. Next, Lu Shu came to the upgraded observation deck. There is a special observation mirror here. It is somewhat similar to the mirror seen in Castlevania. Through this special mirror, Lu Shu can see 3,000 people under the sea. All the scenes came into his eyes. With his mental power at an extremely high level, he could process this huge picture in his mind and write down the locations of all the treasure boxes. There are actually thousands of treasure chests. Lu Shu felt a little surprised. The 3,000-meter sea area is not that big at all. In such a vast area, there are quite a lot of treasure boxes. Although they are only silver and gold level treasure boxes. But Lu Shu has some in his hands. Synthetic skills. The water runes obtained can be synthesized to obtain more advanced water runes. After getting the precise location of the treasure chest, Lu Shu immediately sent Squirtle to explore. Squirtle's level has evolved and learned a few more superpowers, which allowed them to spread out and explore. No monsters that could pose a threat appeared in the 3,000-meter sea area. Soon, hundreds of treasure chests were found through precise location exploration. All of them were found. Choose to open. Suddenly, there are silver and gold treasure chests full of elementary to intermediate water runes. There are also a small number of platinum treasure chests that can open high-level water runes. Although the grade is not very high, it is better than there are so many. Lu Shu immediately opened the synthesis panel. Do you want to choose synthesis? Yes. The next second, all primary water runes have become intermediate water runes. All intermediate water runes have become advanced water runes. 100 Squirtles, all equipped with advanced water runes. There were even dozens of extra water runes, which Lu Shu synthesized into top-level water runes. The increased water attribute suddenly reached 50%. From an overall perspective, the water attribute abilities of Lu Shu's deep-sea troops have been increased by 30 to 35%. In the future, more islands will be acquired and all water runes will be upgraded. For the top water rune, this way, the strength of the entire Squirtle army can be increased by 50%. Ding! Your deep-sea fishing rod caught a diamond-level treasure chest. After these few days of exploring the gray world, the CD for the treasure chest has expired. Lu Shu immediately opened the diamond treasure box and obtained the advanced life essence again. Your sacred tree has absorbed advanced life essence, has add 1000 growth points and -1 production cycle. Ding. You get life fruit X1. Ding. You got special growth fruit X1. Finally mature. Lu Shu hurriedly buried these two fruits in the soil. Soon, two subspecies of spiritual trees grew. The production cycle is only once, new fruits can be produced from the sacred tree again. Product. Blood succession limit fruit X1. Production cycle, 6 days, 3900/650. Another blood limited fruit. Lu Shu's eyes suddenly lit up. The Sherry Non last time gave Pikachu a very high improvement. I don't know what he will get from the blood succession limit fruit this time. All that's left is to wait. At this time, Lu Shu frowned slightly. Is there someone coming from outside the Holy Land? Before entering the 10,000 Stones Holy Land to explore, Lu Shu knew that during this exploration, his location was exposed. Therefore, before coming in, he laid out the wicks of street lamps nearby. Through the extra field of vision, Lu Shu sensed that a team of dozens of people was approaching nearby. It seems that the overall strength is quite strong. People from the Dark Knight Alliance. Glancing through the panels of these sacred tree masters, Lu Shu immediately discovered that the skills of these sacred tree masters are very similar to the organization of the Dark Knight Alliance. Now, the Sacred Tree Masters Guild recruits Sacred Tree Masters, and generally they select people based on their talents. The Xianya Guild is responsible for recruiting Tree Masters with flat-type talents. The Guide Dungeon Guild specializes in selecting Tree Masters with different positions, forming a team, and conducting cooperative training. What position are the Tree Masters generally in? There must be one or two of these. The guilds of the Dark Knight Alliance mainly engage in sneak attacks and assassinations from behind. Many of the Sacred Tree Masters they recruit are those with weird and assassin talents. At a glance, most of this team of Sacred Tree Masters have similar talents. Moreover, the scale is not small. It is not difficult to judge that the team of Sacred Tree Masters in front of you may be related to the Dark Knight Alliance. Following a conversation, incoming Lu Shu's ears, he became more and more certain that these Sacred Tree Masters were members of the Dark Knight Alliance. Is this the place those people mentioned? Yes, I've been here. Although the undead in the video obscured some of my vision, I'm sure it's this coordinate location. You first detect the movement nearby, and when you find an army of undead, immediately activate the night formation and retreat. In the team, the leader, a man in black, with sharp eyes and vague decision-making power in the team, commanded. Although our strength is definitely impossible to defeat these monsters. But for this mission, we are going to find out whether this is the location of the Linyuan mission. If we can get some information, the Alliance leader will reward us with S-level fruits in the future, and then our strength will be raised to another level. Other members responded one after another and nodded. Everyone sets up a defensive formation and is on alert. Explore forward. Although the captain in black holds the trump card in his hand, he still acts very cautiously. After all, there are too many monsters in that video. Moreover, the levels of these monsters are not low at all. If you relax a little, you will be fine. There is a risk of the group being wiped out. Under the leadership of the captain in black, this group of people immediately began to explore the vicinity. Recently, many Sacred Tree Masters have joined the Dark Knight Alliance, also because Dark Knight has issued a heavy bounty SS-level fruit. As long as you can complete the high-level bounty mission issued by Anya himself, you can obtain the Dark Knight fruit produced by the Dark Knight Divine Tree. For most of the Sacred Tree Masters, the strength that S-level fruits can increase is too strong. On the Lu tree this time, the intimidating power of the Dark Knight Alliance was wiped out. In order to inject new blood into the guild, Dark Knight had to pay a heavy price and use S-level fruits as conditions to transfer some more powerful gods to the guild. Tree Masters, pull them into the guild. Many sacred tree masters saw the conditions and were immediately moved. Therefore, in recent times, the Dark Knight Alliance has had a quite obvious expansion. These sacred tree masters are all for the Dark Knight. A hard-working chess piece. Divine tree masters with S-level talents can have such appeal if they can produce S-level fruits. This is also the reason why some sacred tree masters give up personal exploration and instead establish guilds. After all, other sacred tree masters take the lead in charging into the battle and clearing up wasteland for themselves, and the danger is greatly reduced. The guild leader who sits in the back and secures the benefits seems to have spent a lot of money, but in fact if it is done well, the benefits and returns obtained are also considerable. Holy Land of 10,000 Stones. Lu Shu frowned slightly. Through the wicks of the street lamp flowers, he could see that this team of sacred tree masters had a strong ability to retreat. The leader of the team, the captain, has the power to turn into darkness. Different from the netherworld, the night realm allows everyone nearby to blend into the night and become immune to physical and magical attacks. No wonder this group of divine tree masters dared to challenge the Linyuan mission rashly. They had calculated the worst plan. Even if they could not successfully challenge the Linyuan mission, with the help of the Night Realm, this group of people would still have the capital and means to retreat. Unfortunately, they met me. Lu Shu smiled softly. His netherworld army can completely ignore the night domain and attack these sacred tree masters. The netherworld monsters, with the abyss amplification, can ignore the captain's night domain and cause attacks. Although the damage is not so intuitive, but there are too many, and Lu Shu can also support the weakening of illusions and curses from a distance. In this case, let me give you a gift. Take out the undead bone staff and soul control order. Lu Shu summoned tens of thousands of netherworld troops. A huge teleportation array appeared on the ground. After eating the quick transfer fruit, Lu Shu could even make the range of the teleportation array extremely huge by consuming more mental power. A teleportation light curtain descended, very quickly. All the netherworld army was instantly teleported to the outside of the edge of the Grey World. Lu Shu had no intention of letting these sacred tree masters get close to the edge of the Grey World. Although most of the divine tree masters are average in strength, there are so many types of superpowers. With so many divine tree masters, there will always be some with special skills who can break out of the encirclement and become a fish that slips through the net. If they were allowed to enter the Holy Land and expose the existence of the treasure map, wouldn't there be many more competitors in the future? Lu Shu directly airdropped an entire netherworld army using his quick passing ability. Although there was no guarantee that this group of divine tree masters would be annihilated, Lu Shu was still 99% sure. Why haven't you met a monster yet? Someone in the team made a confused sound. If the location in the video is this place, then shouldn't there be an army of undead monsters? Why did I walk for so long without even seeing a single monster? Arrive. Don't let your guard down, it's probably a Linyuan mission and something needs to be triggered to lure these monsters out. The captain in black frowned slightly, and immediately scolded the slightly relaxed team members. The last time you saw the sacred tree masters in that video, they didn't know when they were attacked by so many monsters. If you let your guard down and you are attacked by that kind of monster and don't react, you will die. These monsters are outside the scope of our experience, and they are even immune to the powers of the Holy Light system. This scolding made many sacred tree masters in the team start to be vigilant and not dare to relax in any way. The words of the captain in black reminded them that the monsters that appeared in the video even had holy light powers. Being immune, they are not normal undead monsters at all. But with the realm of night, the members of this team are not panicked. Even if these undead monsters are immune to attacks from the holy light system, can they still attack those in the night realm? Are they causing damage? If you can't kill these monsters, you can always run away, right? At this moment, a team member suddenly pointed forward and said, "Look, there seems to be a legendary crack there." Everyone looked up at the place they were pointing at. A crack appeared in their field of vision. It looked like the edge of the gray world. It seemed that through that crack, one could reach somewhere outside the gray world. "Do you want to go in and take a look?" one of the divine tree masters asked. When everyone was hesitating, suddenly, a huge teleportation array appeared under their feet. Before everyone could react, the next second, the endless netherworld army suddenly appeared. Everyone present was surrounded. The captain in black changed his expression and roared. "This damn crack must be the mechanism that triggers the Linyuan mission. Planting trees for all, 3 consecutive SSS-level talents at the beginning." Author, Immortal. Chapter 110. The expressions of everyone in the team changed. "What? We actually triggered the Linyuan mission. It's over, we're not going to die. The dense army of Netherworld is coming like a tide." This scene. In the eyes of this group of Dark Knight Alliance members whose strength is about average a level, it is tantamount to doomsday. Don't panic. The expression of the captain in black also changed. Faced with such a huge army, he was shocked when he suddenly appeared next to him, but his mental quality was obviously much better than the others in the team. "Shen Shen," he yelled, "everyone come to me and enter the Night Realm." Only now did everyone react, and quickly moved towards the captain. Resistance was absolutely useless. Now, what they have to do is to try their best to leave here, and then send the memory images back to the Dark Knight Alliance. In this way, once you do it, you have completed Dark Knight's mission. Although you may not be able to get the reward of S-level fruit, the benefits are absolutely indispensable. The Dark Knight Alliance is so real, if you trade your life for benefits, you will definitely get what you deserve. Everyone in the team began to hide in the realm where night fell one after another. At this moment, they took a long breath and looked at the monsters outside the realm, and the expressions on their faces became a little more relaxed. They had all hid. They are in the realm of nightfall. These monsters can't reach them, right? However, something unexpected happened. The monsters outside the realm came to the night without any hindrance. In the realm, an undead holding a scythe hooked towards a young man from the Dark Knight Alliance who was facing an evil look. The young man had a sneer on his face. He was in the realm, and had become one with the night. "Can your attack hit me?" The next second, the sickle passed through the boy's heart. There was a bit of disbelief in the boy's pupils, and then his body slowly fell to the ground. How can it be? Seeing the scene in front of them, the other people in the team were stunned. Didn't the night field as promised be able to protect others from being harmed by monsters? Why didn't it seem that this attack was not immune at all, but directly got killed instantly? "Captain, what's going on?" The members of the team couldn't hold back for a moment. Fear spread into everyone's heart again. The captain's face changed erratically, and then he seemed to realize something, and said with a look of horror, "Stop hiding in my domain. These monsters are not just undead. They are a mixture of netherworld monsters and undead. Therefore, not only are they immune to physical attacks, but they can also ignore the shroud of the night realm, and they are also immune to ordinary holy light magic." This news, like thunder, shattered the dreams of all sacred tree masters. Physical immunity of the undead, plus ghost-type monsters that are immune to magic? What kind of combination is this? Isn't that equivalent to invincibility? The captain in black, his face became ugly at this moment. Nether monsters are monsters that can be assimilated into a specific field, so they can also harm all members in the night field. Even if they are immune to ordinary physical attacks, it makes no sense to be able to break the immunity of people like myself. Moreover, it can also have a certain resistance to attacks from the Holy Light system. This is too unbelievable. Even if it is the undead plus the netherworld, there shouldn't be any resistance to the attacks of restrained systems like the Holy Light system. Could it be that they also incorporate the attributes of cockroaches? In fact, the netherworld army rushing at the front is also fighting with the divine tree master. The souls of the undead are fused into one. For example, the undead holding the scythe is actually fused with the soul of an A-level tree master. The army of undead made from the soul of the tree master has certain resistance to holy light attacks. Resistance. Their abilities are transformation-specific skills. In addition, their spiritual power is already relatively powerful and is much more stable than ordinary spirit forms. Therefore, they also have a certain resistance to attacks from the holy light system. It cannot be said that there is no harm at all, but the restraining effect is not that great. It requires more advanced holy light magic to deal with this undead army. Unfortunately, the organization of the Dark Knight Alliance usually finds a holy light. If you catch a divine tree master, kill one. Their organization is a sworn enemy of the holy light department. How is it possible to summon the relevant abilities? In this situation, everyone is helpless. They are not immune to the night domain under the circumstances. The expressions of the divine tree masters present were all desperate. Their only hope was extinguished by these terrifying monsters. Along with the sound of wailing sounds, the netherworld army killed them cleanly. That scene, it was like a nightmare unfolding in front of everyone. At that moment, everyone realized that these monsters were simply not something they could handle now. What are you waiting for? Let's go. The captain in black had a ferocious look on his face and shouted angrily. Only then did everyone realize that staying in the night realm had no effect. With so many people gathered together, it would be easier for them to be surrounded by the undead army and kill them. If scattered, there is still a glimmer of hope of escape. A sharp look flashed in the eyes of the captain in black. Die to me. The next second, a blade made of night appeared in his hand. With the sword light of night, it swept across all directions. The surrounding netherworld army was actually pushed back half a step. Within the Holy Land, Lu Shu observed the battle ahead through resonance. He narrowed his eyes slightly and looked at the captain in black. This divine tree master is quite powerful. However, Lu Shu discovered that the other party's superpowers did not come from his own sacred tree, but a gift from the Dark Knight. His own sacred tree, which was a relatively common superpower, probably came from a certain mission. Achieved outstanding achievements, and therefore received the S-level power given by Dark Knight. Therefore, this team has good combat effectiveness. Just by accepting the gift of a fruit, you can fight in front of this netherworld army. Has a certain resistance ability. The talent of the divine tree master at the top of the ranking is not bad. Of course, if it is a pure netherworld army, it can still resist for a while. But if Lu Shu takes action, the ending is still instant kill. Activate spiritual resonance. In the netherworld army, a monster's eyes suddenly glowed with a layer of purple pupil power. Cast the pupil power illusion. The next second, the black-clothed captain's face instantly became dull. After a moment, he stayed in place and stopped moving at all. The nearby monster immediately pounced on him. Within a few seconds, the opponent's body was penetrated by the weapons of the netherworld army and fell to the ground. How so? When the other team members saw the death of the captain in black, their entire faces were distorted. In their field of vision, the captain in black stood strangely on the spot, just waiting to die. No one knew what he had suffered. What kind of attack? Without even understanding what happened, the most powerful combat force in the team just lost the ability to resist and was slaughtered by the monsters around him. This scene made everyone's brains go blank. Endless fear spread, swallowing up the reason of these people. They simply can't imagine when this terrible attack will fall on themselves. By then, will they face the same or even more terrible fate? The backbone of the team are all already dead. The remaining team members were completely reduced to a mob, running away in all directions without discipline. The entire combat system collapsed instantly. Without the cooperation between powers, Lu Shu's netherworld army, slaughtered. The process of this group of sacred tree masters became easier. Within a few minutes, only the last sacred tree master was left in the same place. Even if I die, someone will definitely come to take you in the future. The face of the sacred tree master was completely distorted. The only thing he did surprised Lu Shu. He actually uploaded the memory video of today's encounter to the world public screen. The last thing before his death. In a word, it was these monsters who killed him. Sooner or later in the future, other divine tree masters will come and solve this Linyuan mission. Lu Shu couldn't help but feel a little funny. Others have cleared the dungeon, and he has something to do with it. What's the relationship? It seems that others are specifically here to avenge this person. Moreover, in Lu Shu's eyes, if other sacred tree masters see this scene, it's another question whether they dare to come, even if they come. Well, it was just to add a few more troops of the undead army to Lu Shu's team. There were dozens more souls before death on the field. Lu Shu explored the Holy Land, and there was nothing else. Harvest came outside with a mighty army. Lu Shu did not waste the souls of these sacred tree masters, but used the ability of undead magic to refine them all into souls. In the team, there were more dozens of high-level souls were produced. Most of them were around A level in strength. The captain's strength was in S level. There were also several other S levels that were not that strong, and they were refined into an army of the undead. It is also a good combat unit. It has been joined by these sacred tree masters. The strength of Lu Shu's netherworld army has risen to another level. And when today's events were made into a memory video and uploaded to the world public screen, it also set off a wave of discussion. World public screen. Ding. Divine Tree Master Yefeng uploaded a memory video. When Divine Tree opened this video, they were all shocked when they witnessed the scene where the netherworld army caused the dozens of Divine Tree Master teams to completely collapse. What are these monsters? Oh my god, they are so scary. The number is so scary. They seem to be the sacred tree masters of the Dark Knight Alliance. How come such a video of being wiped out by a group was suddenly uploaded? Hey, don't you think this place looks familiar? It seems to be the place where those sacred tree masters were attacked by monsters last time. The reminder from upstairs seems to be, this place looks familiar, and these monsters also look familiar. I understand, the Dark Knight Alliance is targeting the Linyuan mission, so they sent a team to carry out the mission. Who knew they were killed instantly by a monster in turn? I feel that the strength of this team should be able to compete with an Abyss-level copy. However, in front of this monster army, there is no resistance at all. How difficult must the Lin Abyss mission be? Not only that, you see, the young man in black clothes in the picture has cast a field, and the bodies of all the sacred tree masters are hidden in the night. This state is very powerful and can be immune to damage, but these monsters ignore the field. Can still kill them, which shows that the difficulty of this copy is beyond our imagination. Oh my god, it's impossible to go over and kill these monsters, right? Yes, wasn't it just a matter of seeking death in the past? What's the point of arranging such a difficult copy? For you, it means dying, but for the big guy, it means when you clear the level. Yes, the Linyuan mission is a special stage mission that is only opened after the first kill achievement of the Nightmare level dungeon is released. How can you say that the difficulty is lower than that of the Nightmare level dungeon? I understand, this is the difficulty of the Nightmare level copy, it is really Nightmare level. Fortunately, I have never been to such a place, otherwise I would not know how to die. Oh my god, the guild released a mission a few days ago, asking us to explore the Linyuan mission. Now I won't even go there even if I kill you. Whoever goes will be a fool. Do you think your life is not long enough? Mr. Lushu is very angry at your words. That's a bug, Mr. Lushu, can it be included in it? You see, they all seem to have seen that crack and were attacked by monsters. I understand, if I encounter any cracks in the grey world in the future, I will definitely get as far away as possible. Me too. As a lesson from the past and a lesson from the future, with the death of these people as a warning, I will never take another step closer to these cracks. Curiosity killed the cat. If you want to be someone's scapegoat, go ahead and quit the guild at worst. This video, not only did not play any role in guiding the Sacred Tree Masters, but it also scared away a large number of Sacred Tree Masters who wanted to try it. Try it or die. Even some big bosses began to frown when they saw the strength of these monsters. Many guilds have also cancelled these tasks. If they insist on publishing them, they will be regarded as fools by other Sacred Tree Masters, should they be asked to die. Unless you offer a sky-high price. Otherwise I definitely won't go. Seeing this scene, Lushu nodded with satisfaction. In this way, there will be fewer Sacred Tree Masters entering the cracks, and the chance of finding the location of the treasure map will be much lower.